Hey, what's going on? I'm good. How are you? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Please ask. Hey, yeah, please just post your question and I'll get to it probably, most likely. Maybe not everybody, but I'm trying to get as many as I can tonight. More than usual, okay? Okay. Hi, Jenna. Okay, I like this one because you're asking will positivity come towards me? And it's like obviously yes, but you don't feel like that right now. So let's get you some hope here. Let's get you to understand that there's always positivity coming your way, and it's kind of up to you to see that, I guess. But you said you've been going through some stuff, so let's look at this. I'm going to start here with this deck, Heavenly Bodies, and we're going to see what kind of energies you should be encouraging in your life right now so that, you know, you can have a better chance of seeing that positivity and, you know, really feeling it. Like, what's the best thing for your highest good right now? I'm going to direct you over to this area, because that's where the cards are at. Good. Fire, confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. Nice. I like that. So see, it's kind of like encouraging you, okay. Confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. It might take a little bravery to get outside of your box, you know, outside of the bubble. House 4, cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. So, is this a family situation that you're feeling like this because of or due to? Um, if not, I would say that that's basically saying like you can go home and just like get with your family or people that you've grown up with or are close to, like very close to your family and home, to you know, find this confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. You know, because when we go home, sometimes that's kind of where we're supposed to find that comfort. You know, for a lot of people, it's not that way, but I mean, for a lot of people, it still is. So hopefully, that's, you know, able to happen for you. Hopefully, that's, you know, the case for you. Like you can go home, and if not, then I would say that it's probably about that. You know, that's probably why you're feeling like this, is because of something about the family. And then fixed, stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So it's kind of like you're needing this, you know, you're needing to find this again, your stability, and yeah, you're needing to just like stick to it. Like I said, you know, don't give up on this because you can find hope. It's just kind of up to you to find it. But, you know, let's see where else we can look to find that kind of hope here for you. It looks like family should help. And if not, if you're like, no, family's not going to help at all, then it's probably why this is happening to you. Like what the whole situation is probably having to do with something about your family. Um, at least that's what it seems to me, that there's like this family theme here. And if they're not the ones that you're going to go to get this like stability and this confidence, then I would say that this is kind of one of the issues in the way of that, kind of holding you back from that. Maybe you feel attached to them in some way that's kind of limiting to you. But You know, if it's not, if you don't have any real problem with them, I would say that's where you're going to find it. Let's see. What do you want to bring to their attention, please? Oh, the Fool, see? It's telling you to get out there, don't be afraid, kind of just take a chance here on something. Do something fun, do something new, like experience life, you know? And even better, King of Wands. So this is like all tying into each other because you see here how fire was your first card. So fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. And then we have King of Wands. So that's Aries, Leo, Sag. That's fire. You know, so it's very much saying like be determined, just get out there and go and do it. Like go and get it yourself. You know what I mean? Like just you don't really need anyone to do this. And in fact, it's kind of on you to, you know, do this for yourself. So, you know, if you have no stability within your family, I would say that this is probably why this whole thing is going down, why you're feeling down. But if you feel like that isn't accurate, then I would say that you can actually go to your family for this comfort and peace, because that's where you're supposed to be able to find it anyway. A lot of people it isn't the case, but some people it still is. So if it is for you, then great. And if it's not, like if you're that first scenario where it's like, no, it's actually because of my family that this whole thing is going down, or I'm feeling like this, or you know, not because of your family, but you know, maybe it is, maybe you feel like it is, but either way, it's, you know, having to do with them, then I would say this is on you. I mean, either way, it's on you, which kind of seems frightening, but it's really not. It's really awesome to have that freedom to be able to make these choices yourself. Because if it was up to somebody else, that would suck. I mean, to have to depend on somebody else for your happiness. So it's kind of cool that you have yourself to rely on for that, even though sometimes it kind of seems like a big responsibility, a big job. It is, you know, but you can do it, and it's just basically getting out there and giving life a chance again. You know, like don't give up. Here's the thing about the Fool. He's this, you know, he hasn't really been through things yet, right? He's the first card of the tarot. He hasn't been through anything, so he doesn't know what to look out for. He doesn't even know that there's anything to look out for. So he's kind of naive, you know, and he's just going for it, and he's about to jump right off this cliff. His dog is like, "What are you doing?" You know, like, you're crazy. So, but that's him. He's just like, he just doesn't care, you know? He doesn't know that there is anything to care about or worry about or be cautious about. So that's kind of what I encourage you to do. I mean, not to be naive, like remember everything you've learned and try to apply it, you know what I mean? But just don't be afraid anymore. If you can, right? I mean, it's a lot to ask. But just think about this. Think about the Fool's energy and just think about like you're wasting your time feeling this limited way, you know? And if you just need help to get out of that headspace, then get therapy, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just basically sometimes, you know, you need to ask for help. So, and if that is the case, then there's not much I can tell you other than get yourself the help that you need, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm in therapy too, so don't worry about it. Don't feel ashamed. Okay, and so, yeah, I did notice that. Thank you, Taylor. Go ahead and post your question at any time. I got you. Okay, Taylor, I want to know, will I get engaged or proposed to or engaged this year, um, or just in the future? So at any time in the future you're wanting to know. Okay, will you ever be engaged. Well, I don't know. You probably know this. I've seen you many times before, Taylor. And you know I don't do yes or no answers, right? So I'm not going to be able to do that. But I'm going to be able to give you some kind of details here, whatever wants to be brought to your attention. And that should give you your answer, okay? So don't worry. It's not the end of the world. But I find it's better this way because it just gives you a lot more information than to just be like yes or no. Like, no or yeah. And it's just like, okay, so when, like how, like what should I expect? You know, it's better to like look at the whole situation and to just come up with the answer on our own of what we think that would be saying for you. And then it gives you a lot more details about everything else that's going on around you and the circumstances. So I'm just organizing this really quick because I only do uprights. So I'm just going to put them all upright really quick, you guys. Sorry about that. Should have already had that ready. But here we are. That's weird. Okay, let's look at these main energies for you, Taylor. What's wanting to be brought to your attention right now about a possible engagement for you this year or at any time in the future? What can you tell us about Taylor and her possibly getting engaged this year or sometime, anytime in the future? Can you tell us about that? What does she need to know here? What would you like her to know about this question? About this concept, about this idea? What do you want her to know about it? What do you want to bring to her attention about this? What can we help bring to her attention about possibly getting engaged this year or at any time in the future? Thank you. Okay. It kind of seems like a yes as far as I'm seeing. I mean, it's, you know, somebody's taking action for sure. There's an opportunity to take action. So it's not necessarily that somebody is, but they definitely will have the opportunity to do that. And, you know, because we have free will. Oh, yeah, this is the giant Rider-Waite. Somebody asked me one time, is your hand just really small or are those cards just really big? I'm like, yeah, it's definitely not my hands. It's definitely the cards. But Taylor, so for this, you know, they don't have to take action, but because we have free will, you know, they do have a choice. So it's not saying necessarily that they will, but there will be an opportunity for them to. So that's a positive thing. That's kind of good. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay. All right. This is Sagittarius, or it's talking about basically peace and harmony. Like this will be a good thing for your life. Like you'll know when it's there because it feels really good, you know, and it starts to feel like life is kind of more peaceful and calm. Things just start flowing together more, you know, how it feels when you're in love. That's what I'm seeing. It's like something about like, you know, the peace and the harmony, and you just feel like balanced, you know, due to this. Okay. So, right when we say that, it's funny because, well, it's not funny actually, but here we have somebody needing someone to take responsibility, basically. But that person is not trying to do that. They're trying to fly or ride away, basically. The Knight of Wands is usually the player card of the tarot, but it doesn't have to mean that they're just a straight player. I mean, but what it does mean is they're not committed. So, I mean, they're here one moment, the next moment they're gone, and this person is still there, like wanting them to take responsibility. But you can see this person's, you know, they've got their backs to each other. It's like he's not even engaging or trying to take any kind of responsibility. He's gone already by that time. So, it looks like there will be some kind of an opportunity. Like what I feel like with this is, if it's not a Sag, I mean, this is what we have. We have fire mostly. Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Sag, and then we do have Queen of Swords, which is air energy. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But I do feel like it's probably fire just because of the majority of fire here, and this more likely seems to be you who's wanting them to take responsibility. Um, and so you said the person is a Capricorn, or the person you're hoping it will be. So, I mean, are they like near Capricorn? Are they end of December? Kind of, is that what their birthday is? Are they like right end of December? Or are they January Capricorn? And they could also have Sag in their chart too, or a lot of fire. But if you don't know what their chart is, here we're just talking about a person. Basically, the energy here is just of them being kind of non-committal. So I would say it's going to be something fiery and passionate. And then it looks like it doesn't last very long, though, unfortunately. So you said December, yeah. Funny. So yeah, I mean, it just seems like something where it's kind of short lived. But I feel like with this, like, I feel like it's not just going to be over at this point, since we're talking about like an engagement. What I would say with the whole engagement thing, though, since this person's like non committal, I would say like maybe there's talk about it, but it doesn't follow through. You know what I mean? Like, the Knight of Wands is a person who he'll like make promises and stuff, but then like it doesn't usually like follow through because he's already onto something else. So, you said a lot of Sag. Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm seeing for this. So if this is like this year, you said it's over now. If that's this year, then I would just pay attention to anybody you're dating. Anybody who obviously, but anybody who is like really passionate with and you just feel like, okay, this is like a person I want to marry. Just, slow down a bit. Watch yourself, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to get into something like that, get attached so quick and then have it be something that really means nothing, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what it seems like it is here. Like something rushes in and it just seems like great, but then you want them to own up and do what they said they were going to do, and they're just not even there. They can't even bother to they can't even bother to like explain themselves or explain anything, to you. So I would say just, whoever you start dating, just watch out for that kind of energy of like somebody being like you falling for them really quickly or something, or it being very passionate. And then, you guys make promises and all kinds of big, dreamy stuff. And, it might not actually happen. Here we do have you feeling stuck because of it, and that makes sense. If you can help it, since we do have free will, you can actually help it by noting when your passions start to get like overwhelming. You start to get in over your head and you go, okay, yeah, this isn't normal for me. So I'm just going to back down really quick and try to analyze why I'm doing this. Like what's got me so consumed before it actually attaches itself and makes it seem like it actually is something that you can't help, because you can. And you don't want to feel like this stuck feeling with the Hanged Man here. But I feel like you can prevent this by just like being more careful and understanding that like once you are in it with somebody, you really are in it all the way. So you just don't want to you just want to make sure you're in it with the right person, So take it slow with people. Don't let this like overcome you. Don't let this be something that you can't, that you just feel like, oh, it's too late. I'm already, you can control it. So just know that. Okay, you said you donated. Again, I did get that. I just haven't checked it yet. Hang on a second. Because somebody else, I think, said they donated too. Okay, got you. Okay, what's your next question? Caramel Apple, I don't have you on here yet. On Cash App anyway, I don't. You said you donated to Cash App? Because I don't have you here yet on here. What was your name under? Is it, you said Empress, right? Are you sure it wasn't like PayPal or something? Because I don't have you on Cash App yet. Okay, I just have Taylor. Sorry to put you on blast like that, Taylor. God, I need to think more before I do that. Okay, well, let's wait for it to come up because what is it under? Caramel apple. What is it under? Like the first name or the last name? It doesn't matter which one. Just something. But yeah, no, I'll get to you right now, Taylor, for sure. Because. And what was your question, Taylor? Hey, fantasy lover. Yeah, I don't have you on here yet. Is it the one about the Capricorn? Is that what is that the question itself is about? Is it the Capricorn person? No. No, I'm not. Jacqueline Brown. No. New. Not me. Okay, gotcha. So, okay, Taylor. All right, so let's see about this Capricorn person. If we can find out anything about them. Tell me about this Capricorn person. What do we need to know basically about this Capricorn person that she's involved or that she is inquiring about? What do we need to know about them? What does she need to know about them? What can I tell her about them? What does she need to know about this person? Okay, so right now it's a break. It's on a break or there's a rest period. Between you, there could be some distance, probably no communication or very little. And then, let's see what else. Tell me about this Capricorn person for her. They walked away from you. So, they might have even moved away. I mean, could have traveled away. But it could have just been like literally distance from you. So let's see. What do you need to know about, what does she need to know about the future with this person? Future energy between them. What kind of energies are we seeing between them in the future? Okay. Kind of a cold and very like straightforward energy, like somebody who's kind of, I feel like kind of being short with you, like kind of being not rude, but just like unemotional in communication, like to where you guys might have had emotional communication before in some way, and now it's like not like that at all, and it's just kind of harsh, to see them in that way. So let's see. It also shows this Five of Pentacles here, so that's like somebody feeling like they're left out, neglected, and kind of left out in the cold and just basically not given attention to in the way that they want or expect or whatever it is. They just aren't getting that energy from the person anymore. Instead, they're getting this kind of cold, distant, short energy from the person. But it looks like, you'll still be pretty stable and able to take care of yourself. I feel like it's not going to bring you down to that level to where you're feeling like you can't even like do anything in life, which is good. It seems like you have your shit together. Like, so the way to know like when this would be is like at a time when you feel like you're at your most stable. I mean, she's at a point that even if she has had the Nine of Pentacles here, even if she's had things happen to her in the past, she's obviously at the point where she has her own shit together and she's still willing to offer that to others and nurture others because she's nurturing this bird here at the top and she's also tending to this garden. So it's like she's not like greedy and bitter and closed off having her shit together. She's like, okay, I have my shit together and I'm also able to offer and extend my hand to others. I'm, it's still of a loving nature and giving nature. So I feel like this is at a point when you feel like you're healed. You feel like you've forgiven everyone that's hurt you or harmed you, and also you have your shit together. Like you're at a stable place in life. And this is when this happens with this person, because we see this is kind of the time frame. This is kind of what you're feeling at this time. So I feel like it hopefully won't even matter that much at that time. So how do they communicate? Why does that happen? What is the scenario here that this would come together? Okay, so it could be that like they're asking you for help or you're asking them for help, but obviously I don't think it's you asking them for help because you're in this position here of the Nine of Pentacles. So they could be asking you for some kind of help or, some kind of hand, something like of resources maybe, or even if like they're, for example, say, you're giving them a job, like you're hiring them somewhere where you're working or something. It's just like you're lending them a hand in some way, giving them money possibly. I mean, it's just something to where you're giving to them because you have that to offer and they don't have it. For some reason, they're coming to you about it. Maybe you just see each other and they just happen to ask, or maybe they call you and because they think you'll help them. I don't know exactly the case and how it's going to go down. But it seems like when you guys communicate again, it's going to be about something where they need some kind of a hand with something. Yeah, well, we don't know what the future is, This is what I'm getting for the card, so, it's going to have to. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? We don't know what the future is yet. So you just have to wait and see. I don't really think it's them, though, because it's kind of showing them being very distant and cold. But what's funny about it is that, like, later on, then they come to you and need your help. So it's interesting how that happens sometimes. So let's see. Sorry about that you don't feel like it makes sense. But, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen yet in the future. So I feel like that's kind of doesn't make sense itself. Okay, so, yeah, exactly. That's what's funny about it, is that, like, you're in this position here and he's needing help. You're obviously the one in this position and he's the one who's asking you for help because obviously you're not asking him. But it's funny because, you're feeling like this and he's kind of dissing you in a way, and just not even dissing you, like, but just that's how it feels. It feels like it sucks, But then you have this energy here of someone just being cold and almost like the King of Swords isn't even about somebody. Oh, that's messed up, Caramel Apple. That's messed up. That's not cool. So it's like, it's not even about a person who's being like a dick. It's just kind of feels like that's kind of what they're doing, is being like high and mighty, kind of like not even giving you the time of day. You know what I mean? And so then it's funny that they would need your help later on. So that would be something that would kind of spark something new between you, but it doesn't have to mean it's romantic. I mean, it's going to be up to you at that time if you want it to be, which, maybe you will want it to be, but maybe you won't. Just depends on what you're feeling at that time, because at this time you have your shit together, everything's kind of solid and stable. So it's not really like you're even, I feel like that would make sense that you aren't even really concerned with the person by this time. You're kind of like over it and moved on past it. But, you never know. Maybe you won't be. Because the Empress is here showing, either pregnancy, of course, or it's basically saying this is going to be a new start for you and this person. So it's really up to you what you do at this time. Just because the card said that doesn't mean you have to take it. You can just not do that if you want at that time. But it seems like that's what's going to happen here. Like this would be a new thing between you started. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be friends or whatever. It's just you have them in your life. And it's starting something new. And you can decide where that goes. Yeah, it's interesting because by this time you have your shit together, you're stable, and then he doesn't ask for help ever. So then he's changed too, because now he's asking for it. And you are at a point where you're like, I don't even need to ask anyone for help because I can help myself. And so it's kind of like a lot has changed between you guys both in your lives. I feel like it's probably, way later on down the line, if not years after this time now, is when this is going to happen, because it seems like, you both have changed in many different ways. You've improved, obviously, and they've clearly, I mean, either they're going to be the same as they are now. I'm not sure what their situation is now, or it's, they've not improved and it's gotten worse for them for some reason. So it seems like they're going to go to you probably because they know you'll help them. They know that, you care and everything. So they think, okay, so I'm going to ask you. Either because they burn their bridges everywhere else, or because they just feel like they know you'd help them out. Okay. And yeah, I think I did get that. Let me see. Yep, okay, got it. Okay. What was your question? Hi, Kay. Hi, Sally. Hi, Mystery. Okay. Caramel apple. What was your question? Did you post it already? I'm gonna look really quick. Will I be in a solid commitment with Virgo? His name is Michael and I'm Chanel. Okay. That's the question you wanted, right? Hi, Stravona. So will she be in a solid commitment with Virgo? What can you tell us about Virgo with Chanel, this guy Michael? What does she need to know? What will this relationship look like? What will this commitment be like? If this is a commitment, will this be a commitment with this Virgo person? Tell me about this Virgo person that she's connected to. What is that looking like between them as we move into this future of this year? As we close out the year, what are we seeing between them? Somebody's walking away or making distance. Maybe they're just traveling. Let's hope that's what it is. Okay, so we have some arguments here. Maybe more than one person. Could be a Libra involved in the situation. If not, I would say it's something that is kind of like that's better than what it could be, which would be, this continuing on for a long period of time, this being a very long and drawn out drama. Instead it kind of seems like it's something that kind of, is drama, but then it, changes and it's over. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't like stay very long. It doesn't linger around and can extend itself to where you're just exhausted by the whole thing. It seems like it's this petty drama, mind you, but let's see what else we can get with this. What's the Five of Wands doing here? The Sun, yeah, something is realized. Something comes out into the open. You realize something about the person, or they realize something about you. But basically, I'm seeing. Let me move that really quick. I'm seeing that, this could be a thing where it's like people are just disappointed by the whole thing because there's some kind of petty argument, and it probably has to do with the person they left or they made distance. They kind of like weren't as close as they were before, and you're kind of wondering why, and it starts this argument, and it could be more than one person who this argument is, around. He said he walked away because I felt like he's lying or hiding something. Yeah, well, it seems like something came out here and was found out. So there could have been an argument between you, and then it could have involved other people too, like not just you and him, but like his friends, your friends, or like family members maybe. For some reason, there's like other people involved in this who are bickering about this too, or it's causing them problems in their life too. But if you don't know anybody that's a Libra, that would be involved in the situation, then I would say that this is just like the way that's right. Like you walked away and that's the way that it should go. You knew it wasn't good for you. You knew what was best for yourself. And that's kind of like the best you could do. It seems like that's the thing that's right. That's fair and that's just. So you did what you had to do. But let's see, anything else we need to know? It seems like that's pretty much the end of that. But let's see if there's anything else you need to know. Because obviously you're still thinking about the person and you're still wanting to, know if you guys are going to be together. So okay, so yeah, it's a feeling of you're going to feel trapped caring for this person. You should really just be focusing on your own stability, because this is not going to feel like a stable thing. It's kind of like what you need to know about it now. And yeah, and so this here is kind of saying, like, I'm asking after this whole thing, like, what else do we need to know? Is this going to continue? And it's showing you feeling like stuck, like your hands are tied, like you don't really have another choice, which is a mental thing. Like, it's not really happening, but it feels like it is. It's because there's swords. It's mental. It's not like literally that you're tied up and you can't get away from something, but it feels like you're kind of stuck there. So that's not really something we want. That's not a good feeling. And I feel like it does have to do with you, staying involved in caring for this person still. Like, you still being this nurturing person for this person, or like caring for them is like exhausting, and it makes you feel like you have no other choice but to be there for whatever reason. Maybe there's a fog or something, fear, obligation, and guilt. I don't know if they're like, trying to make you feel obligated to be there, but this is kind of, I feel like you still have a chance to like get out of this and kind of move toward your own stability. And I know you don't really want to hear that right now, but that's kind of like, it seems like with, as we continue with this, after what you've just said about how you left and everything the card showed, it's kind of saying, the Eight of Swords, that's really not something that you want to be. You feel stuck there. You feel like you can't get away from it, or you feel obligated to be there. And that's not something that makes us feel good. So I feel like that's why it's saying that this is the best thing for you right now. And you should just continue on the road that you're on, because you kind of already know what you need to know. I don't think the person's really going to change. It's not like, of course it's possible, but it just doesn't seem like it with the cards here, It seems like you're going to feel stuck for some reason. So it's up to you what you want to do. But I think it seems like you shouldn't. It seems like you're doing the right thing for yourself now. Because you walked away for a certain reason, and then now you're wanting to get back together, but it's like, why? If you're you're gonna feel the same way, probably, right? So it seems like we miss people, but it's like you did what you did for a reason. So just remember that. Remember how you couldn't do it anymore. You just felt like you had to get away because you felt like something was going on that you didn't know about. And so don't forget about that. You're trying to think of the good times, but it's like, remember the reason you left in the first place, It's likely not changed. Why get back together if you're just going to end up leaving again, It's normal to miss people, but you don't have to waste your time like that. Miss them, but just, just remember why you left. Yeah, no problem. Okay, let's see. Remember, I can't do yes or no's, but we're going to see what's the, energy surrounding the situation. What does this Virgo think of her? What do we need to know about this Virgo person? And about what they think of Shravana? Okay, it seems like they're kind of like, they're back and forth about it. They don't really know what to do about it. I mean, Five of Swords energy right here, I just want to end it here because every time I see Five of Swords, there's nothing good about that character. Unless you're like fighting for your life and defending yourself, which is not what it really means at all. But I mean, the other cards around it, if that's what it would mean, like because the other cards around it were pointing to that, then that would be that'd be good. That'd be okay. But everything else with the Five of Swords, it's like the Five of Swords in general is about a person who wants to win at all costs. They aren't playing fair. They don't care to play fair. They don't care about your feelings or consider anything that you need or want. It's not about you. It's about them. And it's not even just about them, but it's just about them winning. So basically, it's really, really petty and it's dirty. It's gross. It's, it gets to that point where you wouldn't go that far, and they will. So, I mean, it's a nasty energy to be around. I just don't really think that whenever I see that, I just feel like, maybe this is you contemplating back and forth or like, juggling, weighing your options because this person's this, unless this is you, which I never want to think someone I'm reading for is that person, but I mean, it very well could be. I've had people before say, no, that's me. Yeah, no, that's me. I'm the Five of Swords in this. Yeah, that's totally me. No, I'm the toxic one. I'm like, okay, all right, I guess, but, of course, it doesn't seem like it's you. It seems like it's them. And it's just saying basically, like, what are you weighing your options for? This person is nasty, dirty, and they're playing that, they're playing that card where they're vindictive. They want to win, and that's basically it. So, I mean, it's not really worth your time. Do you? Well, because it's trying to tell you something. It's trying to tell you something. And you're just not getting it, or you don't want to believe it, but it's like, believe it before you don't have any other choice but to believe it because this person's, done this to you. And then you can't really see it any other way. And then it's too late and then you're jaded. So, I mean, but then, if without that, it's kind of hard to see it. You know what I mean? Without you actually experiencing that kind of energy or them being that way, it's hard to believe that somebody could actually be that way. So I guess I understand that, Very deliberate decision here. This person's thinking about something. What is it? Because here we have contemplation. Here we have, weighing options. We have weighing options, like they're not sure what they're going to do yet. They have a few things that they could do, or there's something they have to sacrifice in order to do it. But here we have them kind of making a decision now. Maybe because this has gone, they've activated this kind of energy, and now they're like, okay, now I know what I need to do. I'm not going to hold back anymore. It just seems like it's really like you don't want to be there when it happens, You don't want to be a part of it at all. Very straightforward. And you can't get anything past this person. So it's like if you've done something or they're going to feel like a certain way about something you've done, even if it wasn't even like that. They're just that kind of hard-ass person that you don't want to fuck with. You don't want to cross their paths in a way that is going to be dangerous for you. And that's what it's going to be. If you're associated with this person at all, it's because they feel like they can get something out of you or they feel like they can win over you, the situation, So, I mean, it just seems like a no. You know what I mean? And that's going to be up to you if you want to associate with the person or not. And you might not even believe they're actually this way. But just don't fuck with them. Don't get them mad. And don't, keep anything from them that they want, which is impossible. So it's going to be bad either way. You can't give them everything they want. They just want to win. Unless you want to be a slave the rest of your life, then you could do that. But, I mean, that would be kind of probably not very fulfilling for you. So, what does he think? So maybe this is how he sees you. Did something happen between you? Like, you would know better than me, and you don't have to tell me, but I just think about, like, did something happen between you where, like, they could think of you in this way, where they would think, like, okay, this person is just a nasty, like, very ugly and vindictive person who would like do something to me if I didn't give them what they want. Then they could be thinking of you in that way. But if this is their energy, I would say that, you know, it doesn't even matter what they think of you anyway, because they're really not even thinking about you like that. They're thinking about winning. So it's just on to the next one that they can get something from or win the situation from. Even if it's not romantic, it's just who they are is just nasty. And this is, you know, either you're wanting them to take responsibility for something or they're wanting you to. So you'll know which one that is. You know, you'll know what that means. And by that, I mean, it could be both, though. They could be blaming you for certain things that maybe you feel like aren't really your fault. Or maybe there are some things that are your fault. But either way, this could be both of you guys who are wanting the other person to take responsibility for something and kind of own up, which may never happen. Yeah, there was something about your guys' relationship that kind of, whatever the connection is, I mean, there had potential there. There was potential, but for some reason somebody wants someone to take responsibility for something, and I feel like it got really nasty. Or it got really, you said we had a misunderstanding a year ago. Yeah, see? Here we come again with the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, this is something that's been thought about for a long time. It's up in the air. The person's kind of trying to decide how to approach it. I would be careful with that, though. If there's anything you need to like take responsibility for, or you know that they feel, like maybe you don't necessarily feel like you need to take responsibility, but you know that they feel like that, it might be best to just kind of reach out to them and like apologize if that's not going to totally like go against everything that you're about. I mean, if you did something and there's something to apologize for, like that would be a good idea. But if there isn't, then, you know, don't even worry about that. So, but things are seeming to change. Just remember, people don't usually change, but they can. They can. It's not like they never do. But, you know what you need to know about them, basically. So just don't second guess yourself. Like the way that they were during that argument, like, you know, you don't really deal with people like that. Let's see. What is your ex? Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I'll do this one after, but I was gonna do this one. What does your ex feel about you? Don't worry, I'll do that one right after. What does your ex feel about you now? What do we need to know? Jessica. They feel like you've changed, or it's over, basically. They feel like this is done. They feel like it was toxic between you, but they also probably had that urge. Like, it could have been something that kind of went for a long time and was very, like, unhealthy for a long time, or, like, for a long period of time, like, you know, not a short time. Like, you know, at least a couple months, maybe even a couple years, but I would feel like it's, like, around a year or so that this went on, that it was very toxic. And it was still going on and on and on. And now they just feel like it's kind of done. They just feel like it's kind of like, okay, it's over with. You know, like, we're good. At least the toxicity part of it, you know. Not to say nothing can change in the future, but for now, that's kind of what they're seeing is it's done. And, you know, I wouldn't say that they're, like, happy about that in a way that they kind of, you know, should be happy that it's over, but because it was very toxic for the both of you. But, you know, it seems like they're kind of disappointed in it too. Seeing these cups that are spilled instead of the ones that are still standing here, the two, they don't really see much positivity right now in the situation. Nothing really to them is seeming worth it and positive. They're seeing like a lot of negative. Well, they're seeing all the negative. They're just looking at laser focused, you see? Laser focused on these cups that are knocked down. So it's kind of like crying over spilt milk. They're just like dwelling. But they're taking action on it, so let's see what they're doing. But they're basically not seeing much positive about it at all. Yeah. So the action is use your better question. I'm sorry, I was reading the comments. Use your better judgment. Use your better question. Use your better judgment on this one. The action that they're going to be taking, they're trying to decide. I feel like something is kind of blocking them or holding them back from even making a decision. And the decision is obviously like, whether to leave it alone for good or, kind of not do that, maybe engage it again. But I don't think that they've come to a decision yet. Even though this is talking about a deliberate decision that they're going to be making, it's basically like first cautioning them to use their better judgment. So it could be that they're kind of held back and blocked. They're like a bit restricted on making this decision yet. Not by anyone else but themselves, but I mean, it's still something that, they're not really feeling like they want to make the decision yet, because it's a big decision to just end something like that. But it is a very toxic situation, so I feel like it's something that they feel like they have to do. They're trying to just focus on themselves right now. So they're trying to not really focus on this at all. So, but they're going to have to, at some point, they're going to have to make this decision here. But it's just hard for them, so that's why they haven't done that yet. Okay. Hey, thanks for being here. Glad to see you. Okay. Current feelings for me. What does he think about me? Harsh. Undecided, okay? As of now, undecided. Been fucked over in the past, doesn't want that to happen again. So, this would be like to be with you or to even show interest is, a big risk for them since they have, they're weighing their options here and they're basically going, okay, I'm going to have to sacrifice something probably. I can't have both of these things, I think both of these things are very important. They're, I'm still weighing which one is going to be more important than the other, he just hasn't decided yet because this is a big deal. It's like being fucked over it's not easy to get back into a relationship after that. It's not easy to put yourself out there like that. And so that's what he would be sacrificing here. So I feel like he is interested in some way because this wouldn't be coming out. These kinds of themes, these kinds of worries wouldn't be coming out if he didn't even look at you in that way. But we do have him, thinking about, okay, I've been left, I've been neglected, and I've been hurt before. So this, I'm weighing my options. Should I go for this or should I kind of like not? You know what I mean? Should I not do that because I don't want this to happen again. So it's, he's weighing his options right now and it would be a big risk for him. So try to be understanding of that. Don't try to be like too pushy because that might push him away. And if he's trying to figure it out himself and come to you, that's what's best anyway. You don't want to force somebody to come your way. You want them to kind of make that decision on their own and want to be there as much as you want them to be there. Okay. So I see that basically your best bet here is to just be this, nurturing, caring person. Like just show them that side of yourself. Show them the side that's understanding and giving and kind of just like sweet, just nothing for them to be worried about. Like just be that kind person who is caring because, the Wheel of Fortune's here. So it's like that should kind of help you along in their eyes, to get a better to have them feel safer with you, I guess. Almost like this adult here is giving this pot of flowers to a child. And so obviously the child is like happy about that, feels safe, comforted, and loved. And, it's just that whole energy. If you can vibe that out of yourself, that will give you a better chance of getting through to this person and making them feel more safe with you. But I still do have this moon card here. So this is Pisces energy. But if it's not a Pisces here, that in your situation, we're just talking about basically that's what's troubling is the moon. It's like they're still unsure. And so if you can just stick it out and be this kind person who they don't have any worries about, then that's your best bet of getting closer to them. So right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not really showing much interest. And if they are, it's very little and it's not going anywhere because they're not trying to make it go anywhere. They're still weighing their options on you in general. So just be patient and try to show them that caring side so that they can feel safer, that you're not going to just screw them over. They can feel like you're not just some like person that's going to hurt them. Someone they can trust, you know? And for them, it still might be kind of weird. If you are a person they can trust, they still might kind of think that's weird because they're not used to that, you know, or they're just so jaded from this last one. Maybe it's just been one person, but this last one really got them. So now they're kind of iffy about people that they trust themselves because they know before they trusted and it was not a good idea because the person hurt them anyway. So it might take them some time to come around, but I feel like they are definitely interested, or else these kinds of things wouldn't even be a thought in their mind, you know? Okay. Those aren't the people for you then, Gina. My boyfriend says, oh, Gina Lee donated. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let me just finish this one really quick since I already have it up here. And then we'll do that one right away, okay? But I'm glad that I can do you next because I was gonna say I was already like looking at your question, already feeling like answering it. So, okay. Angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. Proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. Early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, communication. So for you, Priyanka, I feel like, you know, this is a person you've probably known for a long time, from your childhood. Maybe they're coming back or something from, you know, a long time of not seeing them, or maybe you have seen them a lot and, you know, you've grown up with them and they've still been around. But this is somebody from your childhood, I would feel like. It says childhood relations. And the house 3 is not about, you know, romance. But since we're asking this question and this is what comes out, this is what I feel like it's you know, what's coming towards you is basically a connection with somebody that you've known a long time. And, you know, early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. You might have a class with this person or have some kind of form of communication with them or some kind of project you're doing, something where you guys are like learning together or you have learned together. And this is something that would, you know, come back into your life and mean something this time. Like you guys haven't been romantic in the past, but now it would be. And so, since, you know, you're asking about love, so, you know, proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. You might want to initiate this. You know, if you feel like you kind of already know who I'm talking about or there's a certain person, then you can initiate because it says, you know, yang. So this is kind of like the activity that is encouraged for you. Um, Unless, of course, it's saying that person's going to come your way, but you're asking what's coming towards you, what's coming for you. I love that question. I feel like you can kind of initiate too, though. Like, this is how you put yourself back in control of that situation instead of just life happening to you. If you already know a person this kind of resonates about, then you can kind of just initiate and see where that goes. Because it seems like angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. It seems like you guys will really connect and it'll be something, you know, that won't be too hard to get going. It shouldn't be many clashes there. So I feel like if there's somebody from your past, or not from your past, but from your childhood that you've known a long time, or somebody that you've grown up with, you know, that you've known since childhood, and you feel like, oh, that person is probably who you're talking about, then go for it, you know. Forward motion, okay? Don't wait on this. Just go and get it. Because it's there. And it is somebody from that you've known a long time, so you can kind of trust them more, I would feel like. So that's pretty cool. So Gina, Where did you donate, Gina? On PayPal? Mm-hmm. Okay, I see Christy. You want to see if there are going to be some good changes soon. And then we also have Clarissa. Okay, so I do see you, Clarissa. And Christy, is that Twist? Yeah. Okay. So let's go with Christy first since she donated at 12:30, and then Clarissa was 12:33. So we'll do those two. Okay. And thanks for letting me know, you guys, because yeah, with PayPal I can't, it doesn't notify me like that. Cash App, it just texts me. It just tells me right away, like somebody. But for PayPal it doesn't, so you do have to let me know that. So thanks for letting me know that, because yeah, I totally wouldn't have known unless you brought that to my attention. Yeah, for sure. I can call you Gina. Yeah, but let's go with the other person first since they donated first a couple minutes before you. And but we'll definitely get to you, so don't worry about that. Okay. Thanks, Jenna. Is Twist here? You said you want to know if there's anything new and good coming. Dream and transcend. Again, about the family. And destined to release. Okay. So you could have some kind of like thing with your family, Twist, where it's something that you kind of aren't seeing clearly. It's something that's kind of like there's this kind of whole feeling about your family or this connection, the attachment with them. I'm just telling you this because this is what's coming out here, and so I feel like it's important to tell you. With Neptune, it's something that you're probably not seeing clearly. You know, there's illusions. There's the rose-colored glasses. There's a veil over the actual reality of the situation, and it says, it's about the fourth house, which is cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. So your home life might actually be, somewhat feeling this way. Like you have this like strong attachment to them, but it feels like something's missing or something's off, or like, something isn't right. There's secrets you feel like, or there's just something you don't know. There's just something so mysterious about the whole thing. You just feel kind of like sick. Like I just feel like kind of sick to your stomach about like something that you just don't know about them, that you feel like but you don't. Like there's just this like mysterious kind of attachment to them that you just aren't sure why it's there exactly, but it's like a strong attachment because maybe it's you don't want to believe it, you don't want to believe the things that you think are happening or have happened or whatever the case is. You're kind of denying it because it's easier to do that. It doesn't hurt as much, or you don't want to accept the things that you think maybe are happening or whatever the situation is with your family, or maybe when you were a child. possibly. But good thing is this is the South Node for you, so this is destined to release for you. So this could have been past life energy where you were feeling like this, and it's just kind of lingering now, but you're supposed to leave it in the past now. That's kind of what the South Node is about. It's like this is who you were in a past life. This is who you're supposed to get away from, and you're supposed to go towards the North Node. So this is what you're destined to release, and I feel like it's very strong attachments to the family that are not what they seem. You know, just this attachment to the family that's kind of in a way, when you're asking me too, like, what's coming, or I'm sorry, this isn't, when you're asking, is there anything good coming soon for you? I feel like this is part of that. Like you just kind of lifting the veil and seeing life for what it is and seeing people for who they are, and just seeing the reality of your situation everywhere you go, like not being so stuck and heavily trapped in the Neptune energy anymore of illusions and denial, because you need to just face the truth, and that will be better for you. And then you'll feel a lot more open to accepting good things coming in, because it could be that you're blocked right now because you're afraid, or you just feel like how the world is. You feel like people are just bad or just hiding something always, or they're just, they have bad motives or something, or there's just always something about them that's going to hurt you. House 10, structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. So this could be something that you're working more towards, something to feel more accomplished within yourself, and not have to not have to depend on other people so much for your stability and emotional security, because you just feel it with yourself. You feel good enough about your life, and you feel like you're going somewhere, so you don't lean on people as much, and then you end up leaning on people that aren't, good to lean on, because they'll hurt you or they just don't care like you do. So this is kind of like encouraging you to go more independently and move towards something that makes you feel good about life in general on your own. Kind of like, your career or your life mission, your accomplishments, like things that you've done yourself that you can be proud of, and you don't have to ask people for that recognition or that love. I mean, we all want connections and everything like that, but like this is more of a feeling of like you going your own way and not needing it from other people, like just feeling that security within yourself. So maybe that's something you could look towards to find, this good in your life. Because as long as you're dependent on other people for that good, it's going to be very difficult to feel that in a consistent way, in a constant, flow, because people are going to let you down if you depend on them too much like that. And I don't want to be negative like that. It's just like, it seems kind of like you're dependent on people in a huge way, and you're kind of waiting for something to change. But I think the change has to start with you, Try to open yourself up more and not see everybody in the way that, you've seen people in the past, or the way that people have been to you in the past that hurt you, like your family. And that could be because, your family is the first people that we trust and the first people we really know. So if they've hurt you in a big way, then obviously you're going to think other people will too. And some people are lucky and they don't have that, even if that happens to them, they don't hold on to that and they're able to do that easily. But some people just aren't able to do that easily, which makes sense. And so if that's you, I would just say, try to just be open. Try to, just tell yourself, it starts with your thoughts. Try to tell yourself, okay, it starts with my thoughts. Not everyone is going to be like they were, or this person, whoever they were, or whoever this person was. Whoever hurts you, they're not all going to be like that. So I just have to be me and stand true in myself, get out there. And, I'm not going to be happy if I stay in this miserable state of mind. I'm not going to be happy if I just stay here in this place where I just feel so miserable and I just feel like there's no good coming my way. Like, you kind of have to just make it happen. You know what I mean? You have to just see it happen and just be that person that you want in your life. It'll come, Positivity attracts positivity. So just remember that and try to just be a little bit more positive about things. I feel like that's kind of rude to say that if you're feeling so down, like, just be positive. I don't mean it like that, but you would be surprised how much, like, literally just changing your thoughts and trying to look at things in a more positive way actually does help. Like, I didn't believe it at first, but it literally does help a shit ton. Like, it's crazy. I mean, it literally does. Just try it. Just try it. What's the worst that can happen? It just doesn't work for you. Trust me, it will. It's not going to not work for you. It will. But that's not the only thing I want you to do. I think you should also just get out there more and find something you're passionate about so that you can feel more stable within yourself and depend on yourself more and just know, like, who you are within yourself without having to kind of look on the outside, because you're never going to be satisfied looking on the outside. You're just not. It's just not the way it works. a lot of people do that, but that's not the way that it works. So good luck to you. And thanks for the donation, by the way. Thank you. Okay, Gina, now I'm on you. So, Gina, let's look at what you were saying before. Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk to guys, you know. It's funny because you're like, you know, I've been stating my facts and showing why I'm upset, and they're just saying I'm too much. Yeah, that's guys for you. You know, not all guys, but yeah, I would think most just don't want to hear it. You know, they just don't. They don't. Not that all guys are that way and like irresponsible or something and can't own up to things, but it's like when girls want a guy to like own up, when you know it is too much for them. They're just like, oh my god, like just stop. It's just, it seems like drama to them, I guess because guys don't talk to each other like that. I don't know, you know, where girls can like talk things out. Look, I just feel like this, and like I just need to know, like, are you da da da, and guys are just like, what the fuck, like, no, this is okay, what are you even talking about, like, you're probably just tripping, you know, you're just thinking, like, you're over exaggerating. And you know, if you've had guys in your life that have been hurting you like that, not trying to be understanding of you, then you know it kind of makes sense that they're not really trying to hear you out, right? Like, it kind of, you know, they're not really trying to change that. They're still that way. So it's, you know, good luck getting them to kind of tell you, yeah, you know, I'm sorry, I'm just a dick, and it's not you, it's me. You know, they're not going to say that. But I would say, like, first of all, just hearing your question, it kind of seems like you need to like depend on guys a little bit less, you know, for your you know, for your emotional stability and security. Like, if you're depending on other people in general. But I mean, you know, men, there could be something to that, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you should find some girlfriends, but it seems like you probably don't really trust women that much, which, you know, you probably have your reasons. But maybe just don't depend on anybody too much for that. It kind of seems like you're like looking for somebody to kind of like, you know, depend on in a way for your emotional strength, and you're just finding disappointment left and right. So that's probably not going to stop happening because you're looking for somebody to be the end all be all, you know, and kind of heal things for you and make things right for you. You don't feel good by yourself, so you want somebody to be around for you. And really, like, until you can depend on yourself, you're probably going to, every disappointment that people put you through by not being trustworthy or by hurting you in some way, not caring, it's going to feel like you're never going to find a person who's going to be caring. And so I just think that, you know, it seems like you're kind of depending on that too much. And when people let you down, you kind of see it as like, that's how people are. And so when people let you down again, it's kind of like this self-fulfilling thing. Like, okay, people let me down. So you can't even see when somebody's not going to do that. You can't see when somebody's going to be a like actual person that's honest, that you should actually give a chance to in your life, because you're kind of seeing people as negative right now. This is a very personal thing that we can get deep with. I wish you would, you know, get a personal reading from me, because I have some questions for you that I feel like are kind of personal. I don't really want to say them on here, but that we can get to the bottom of things like that, I feel like a bit easier. I could be wrong, but I mean, that's why I would ask you. But that's okay if you can't. I just let's see how we could do this. Well, let's just see if the cards can kind of tell us. Maybe they'll say what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm on the right track here. So tell me what she needs to know about this situation, Gina. What does she need to know? Okay. Okay, do you know any Cancer men? Men that are Cancers? That would be June 23rd, I believe. 21st, 23rd. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, I always get that one wrong. But it's like the 21st or the 22nd, 23rd of June to July 21st. And you said yes, okay. Well, it seems like that person, either you're trying to like get some kind of cooperation, you're trying to like, you know, communicate with them and get some kind of like interaction with them, or this is somebody that's you're going to be communicating and interacting with. It seems like, you know, there's definitely this collaboration going on. So, and also with the King of Cups, it's a person who's caring genuinely. So that's good. Maybe it's just trying to say like this person, there's still going to be a good person out there. So don't, you know, lose hope on that. But also it could just be saying like, yeah, you know, this could be a person you've been involved with that maybe you're wondering about. But to me, it just seems like this is a good thing. So let's see where this is going. What do the cards want you to know about this? Okay, so we're seeing this kind of resting period here. This could be talking about, with the Four of Swords, we could be talking about, like, say this person... Okay, you said, I just got into a fight with a Cancer man I had a crush on, but he didn't share something and was being greedy and selfish. Okay, so it says either basically this is with the Four of Swords. We could be talking about something where this is a break that you're having between this person and you, that you're kind of like putting it to rest for now. And it's, you know, the Four of Swords is not really an ending. It's kind of like a break. And so it could spark up again. But I'm not really exactly sure where this is going to go just because with the star here, that's Aquarius energy. So if there's an Aquarius involved as well, that could be, you know, something here. But basically with this, I just feel like it's either saying that you can bet that there's going to be, you know, like there's hope that this is going to end soon, or there's hope that this, you know, that you're going to feel comfortable in the person's energy. So obviously it kind of feels like it's ending a little bit more than you feeling comfortable because you just said you guys got in an argument. So this, I guess this Four of Swords here then would mean that this is something that's going to end. But let's see anything else we can get. Let me see if I can clarify it. What is the Four of Swords here for this Cancer person? Yeah, okay. So this person's really an ugly character. That's not good. So, yeah, you said a greedy and selfish. Sounds about right. They just want what they want. And that's what the Five of Swords is about. It's a person who wants to win. So, I mean, that's pretty much all it's about. And it's very... Calm down, sweetie. It's very unfair. It's not understanding. It's not considerate. It's kind of just basically selfish. And, you know, they want what they want and they will do anything to get it. So it's kind of something you really want to kind of stay away from. So at first this person could have seemed like they were genuinely caring towards you because with the King of Cups here, you know what's weird? I've been getting the King of Cups, like whenever I get the King of Cups now, something bad always comes after it. So it's starting to make me think that the King of Cups is there to say like that they seem genuinely caring, but they're really not, and that comes out later. Because that happens a lot, you know, with people. They seem like they're like really great people, and then they're like not. So I mean, it sucks, but I mean, that's kind of what I feel with this. Since this happened before, you could have trusted them because they seemed genuinely caring. And then for whatever reason, they let you down or was, yeah, you said, exactly. You said he was only sweet at first. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, of course, they put on their best face, you know, at first. He is an ugly character. Yeah, I gave him time and energy and didn't treat me with the same respect I thought he would, to be honest. And his best friend told me I was wrong, too, and I was being too much. Yeah, you know what I was saying about how, like, how you probably trusted the person. You probably thought like you could trust them and that they were a good person, and then obviously they weren't. And this Five of Swords, like that's really just there's no good way to look at that really to me. You know, Five of Swords, as you'll see in many of my readings, whenever I get it, I'm always like, oh no, like because Five of Swords is just not a good energy to be around. I mean, this person will hurt you because they'll get what they want, and that's all that they're concerned with. So there's nothing in this situation that's going to be good for you. Like they're not thinking of you at all. You know, they're thinking of themselves. And if anything, they would love to see somebody hurt so that they could feel better about themselves. I mean, that's what they're about. Like they don't want to play fair, you know? They're just really ugly. So, yeah, I would say that you can hope that you can bet this is going to end now because of this, which is a good thing. You know, even if you think it's not, it is. You kind of have seen their true colors, so don't go back on that. Like, don't make yourself think that like that's not what it is. You know what it is. You've seen it, you've experienced it, so just don't forget about that because you'd be doing yourself a disservice by voluntarily denying, like, you know, by you know, like purposefully just trying to say this, just denying it to yourself what you already know. It's like, why would you do that? You know, you already know. You don't need to know anything else. Like, what else do you want to know? You know, it can get worse. You know, like you already kind of have seen the worst. So I mean, just do what you need to do about that now. I said, yeah, they're so selfish. Thank you for understanding. Oh my God, you're not picking up on that energy. Or you're picking up on that energy and I'm not crazy. Yeah, no. I wouldn't say you're crazy. I mean, you know what happened in your experience, and if you feel like that's fucked up, then for them to just tell you, like, you're just being exaggerative or whatever, I mean, it's invalidating. Maybe they think you're being exaggerative, whatever. You know how you feel. So, I mean, if you feel like it's fucked up, then, I mean, how are you... It's not about crazy or not crazy. It's just about your experience, and your boundaries are being crossed, obviously. And they're not really giving a shit. So, I mean, you know, what do you do about that? Do you stick around and think, like, eventually they're going to care? No. Because they've shown what they're going to do. And it doesn't mean you have to adjust the way that you are, you know, just because they think you're crazy, you know? Fuck that. Fuck them. Why do that? It's not worth it. Yeah, of course. Of course. I said thank you for validating my feelings. Thanks. Yeah, I get it. Does not feel good. And it's, you know, when you're invalidated, it's not like you have to change something. Just because somebody tells you your emotions are too much for me, that doesn't mean that, like, you shouldn't have emotions. That's just a person you don't really need in your life. They just can't be there for you the way you need. So, and that's going to happen, you know. Sometimes people just can't be there for you in the way that you need. That's fine, you know. But it just is what it is, you know. Some people just can't handle it. Oh. Wow, okay. Thanks. Thank you. Okay, what's your other question then? Go ahead and post it at any time. And I'll go ahead and get that started. What are you doing, kitty? Hi, baby. Who's Stephania? Stephania. Stephanie. What's your username under? Oh, SL, is that? Oh, yes, gotcha. That's, yeah, okay, sorry about that. Put you on blast like that. So let me just finish this reading since we're already kind of, you know, doing Gina. Let's just, like, do her question, and then we'll do yours, okay? Is that... Well, wait, let's see how long it's been. Well, okay, here, how about this? You know what? Let's do SL first, just because she donated like about 10 minutes ago. So definitely want to, yeah, definitely want to get hers, and then we'll go back to you, okay, Gina. And I'll remember your question, okay? What's your question, SL? Look how big he is now. big now. Look how big. Remember Chip? His eyes are a trip, huh? He just This is Chocolate. Okay, she's still a spaz like always, but she's so cute now. She hates being held. She doesn't always hate being held, but like right now, I guess she does. Chip peed on me. But, oops. Okay, so, but yeah, I don't know. Emily's not here, I don't think, but they are so big now, it's crazy. I just wanted to show you guys that because obviously it's cute as fuck. But sorry about that. My iPad died. What's new, right? My shit's always dying. But that needs to stop happening. So but for now, let's continue. Sorry about that. I really always do that, and it's just like I need to get it together. Okay. But I'm still here. I would not leave like that after having donations. That'd be fucked up. Okay. I'm just like, sorry, bye. Thanks for donations. No, okay, what will happen between me and T? We are in no contact and he seems to not want to communicate. So you want to know what will happen? Well, first of all, let's see what kind of energy is here for you to embody. That would help the situation, or for your highest good. It won't necessarily help the situation between you two, but what are the cards recommending in regards to the energy you should be embodying for your highest good? I mean, regarding the situation. For your highest good. Okay. And we have Aries, independent, bravery, and passion. That's kind of the energy to embody for you. Okay. Let's go further. I need to get like a stand or something right here. So it can be like the whole time you just see what cards you got. So, alright. So what's the energy between them as we move forward and close out this year? What do we see at the end of the year? What do we see the energy between them, please? Yeah. Somebody not being very committed. They're flighty. They're passionate and they're there 1 second, but the next second they're kind of on to the next thing. And even more so doing their own thing. Just like the Queen of Wands, doing their own thing, independent. It's kind of this energy of Aries, actually. You know, independent, brave, passionate. I mean, this person, in a way, is brave because she, it doesn't have to be a girl, but in this case, it's the Queen of Wands. But the energy she has is, you know, the energy of somebody who is able to make their own decisions. And they don't, in fact, they don't ask people for permission for what they're doing, you know. They kind of just go and do what they do. And they don't need people to tell them whether or not they should. They're kind of like, you can come with me or you know, can stay, but I'm going. Like, this is where I'm going. So they don't need approval or anything. They just do what they want to do. And so basically here, I feel like this person's a fire sign, first of all, or they could be a Pisces since this just came out. But, you know, this is, since we have the Aries card here and then also fire, I feel like they're Aries, Leo, or Sag. And if not, and they could also be Pisces too, since we just got this card coming out. This is Pisces. But this moon card, let's see what this is doing here. What's the moon card here for? Okay, yeah. Okay, so here we go. The person we're talking about here is, actually, I kind of feel like it could be your energy. What I feel like more so with the Five of Swords, it kind of feels like, you know, you're confused a bit about, you know, any kind of, you know, connection happening. Well, I mean, kind of like your question, you said, we're not in contact and he seems to not want to communicate. So it seems like you're going to kind of go all out and maybe try to get him to communicate. If not, I would say that it's probably best that you're not, because the Five of Swords energy isn't a good energy unless you're really trying to just get, you know, be competitive, like kind of just get what you want out of this. Then like if you're gonna back off and not do that, then I would say that it's probably them as the Five of Swords. But I feel like, you know, you're kind of confused about whether or not you guys will start again, and so you're kind of just like being very fierce about it. And if that's not the case, then I would say it's probably better that, you know, this person isn't talking to you, because basically this is, you know, a Five of Swords energy person. The person's going to get what they want out of every situation, and they don't care what you want or think. So, you know, whoever is the Five of Swords energy, whoever's the person here that's trying to get what they're going to get, trying to get what they want, and they don't care about the other person's feelings, I would say that's the person we're talking about. And no wonder you're confused, because they probably weren't this person at first. But now I see like they're trying to go their own way. They're trying to, you know, just kind of run off without any explanation. They don't really want to have to stick around and explain. They just go off to the next thing and they do their own thing, and they really don't think about anything else. So that's what it seems like it is. And obviously that's hurtful towards you. You know, that hurts you. So not trying to sugarcoat this. This is just what's coming out. So yeah, I know it's probably hard to hear that. It's just, that's what I'm getting here. So sorry about that. I'm saying sorry because I feel like that's kind of negative. It's not probably what you want to hear, but, you know, it is showing that it's, you know, obviously heartbreaking. But, I mean, even if this person does try to come back around, because you're kind of confused about whether or not there will be a new start, like if they're sending mixed messages or if they have in the past, that's not even something to engage with. Like if somebody is not there all the way, it's like, what is the fucking point, you know? Like, why would you waste time with that? Like, even, no matter how passionate the motherfucker is, I mean, fuck that. If they don't know they want you all the time, fuck them. Like, seriously. And, you know, whatever, not fuck them, but I mean, just like, whatever. You don't need that. You need someone who's like, I know I want you. I'm here all the way, and that's what I'm gonna do. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to feel like you're not good enough, you know, all the time. So, Emily. Okay, let me go get the cats really quick because, yeah, I do want to show you those cats. And Emily, check it out. It's Chip. He's so big now. He's still a cuddler. But right now, I think he just wants to play. He's like, get off me. Let me down. Look how big he is, though. He was so tiny before. Now he's all big. He's huge. Say hi, Chip. Chip. Chip, look. I love his little face. Chocolate? Just say hi really quick. Just say hi. Look, Chocolate's a little bit smaller, but she's in heat right now. But look how big they are. She used to be so feisty, and right now she is because they're playing. But she used to be so feisty and like just a spaz. I really kind of didn't like her at first. So, like, I mean, I liked her, but she was kind of just like so spazzy that I was like, like, get off me. Like, okay, fine, go then, fine, like she would just scratch me. But now she's like so fluffy and cute. She's like all fluffy and plump, and like now she's in heat right now, so it's like kind of crazy because all the cats are trying to fuck her. But she's really plump and cute now. She's so sweet now. But moving on. Okay. So, thanks for coming, Emily. I'm glad I got to show you those cats finally because, yeah, they're growing. Next thing you know, they're going to be like full grown. Okay. I know, me too. They're so cute. I love that. Chip's the cuddler though, but he's mad at me right now because I tried to cut some hair off his butt earlier. because that's why he pees on me, because he just, his hair's, he's a long-haired cat. Okay, wait, so wasn't there somebody else who donated? Oh yeah, it was Gina, right? Gina again, right? Is Gina still around? The last thing I can see is Jenna said she just texted me, she said she's trying to fix it. So that's the last comment I can see up there. So I can't see. Okay, thanks, Gina. Okay, great. Thank you. So why was PJ toxic to me? He blocked me when I didn't respond right away and threw away my perfume. He said I also have a bad reputation because people have been saying that. Should I worry about that? It sounds like this guy is, first of all, when you said that he, and this is like, I'll look at the cards, but just personal experience, when somebody gets mad that you don't text them back like in 2 minutes, like as if you have nothing better to do or something, like you don't have your own life or something, like they act like, oh, you know, your life is supposed to be centered around texting me back, and so if you don't text me back right away, I feel like you're, you know, disrespecting me or you're neglecting, you know, it's like, that's so rude. But really, it's like, no, it's a life, you know, you can't just always wait by the phone and text back right away, you know. That to me sounds like freaking like narcissist. Just because it's like, okay, what do they expect you to just be there every second to like write to them, and that's it, that's all you're doing throughout your day? So like if you're not writing back to them right away, it's like, what else are you doing, you know? Like, I know you're only doing this, you're only waiting for me to text you. So it's like, no, dude. Like they don't get it. But and then you said he like threw out your perfume and said you have a bad reputation because people have been saying that. Well, first of all, that might not even be true. He could be triangulating, which is like he's telling you something that like other people are saying about you. And so what that's going to do is you're not going to go to those people and ask them if that's true. You're just going to talk to him about it and be like, try to prove yourself to him. And he's just going to tell you shit that other people have said about you. So I would say go to those people, whoever at any time, whoever he says talks about you, straight up. Don't even tell him you're going to do it though. Just do it yourself, straight up. Just go up to those people and ask them honestly. Just be sweet, be like respectful. Hey, this person, you know, has said that, or I've heard, if you don't want to say the person, I've heard that, you know, this is what's being said about me. Is that the truth? And I just would like to know. Just be honest. Is that the truth? Is that what's being said? And I bet you it's not. And if there is something said, it's probably not what he said. You know, he probably twisted it up. He said he's 40 and I'm 23. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So again, it's just, yeah, definitely go to those people that he claims are talking about you. Because the other reason I feel like it could be narcissism is because he points out your bad reputation, because he cares so much about reputation. He cares so much about his image and how he looks and how you look, because being with you matters to him, how you look, you know, because that's going to be affecting him and how he looks. So it's just very superficial and it's very shallow. It just seems like something that's like just dumb, you know, like, but that's his life, so that's him. But you said you're so understanding. Oh, thank you. And he said you hit me back up because you missed me, and your perfume is the only link to me. Thank you, babes. It is manipulating. He just said people in general. LOL, he didn't claim anyone specifically. Yeah, exactly, because he probably doesn't have anybody yet. He doesn't have your friends like that yet. But trust and believe he can. He can manipulate your friends even and get them to be on his side. So, I mean, I would stay away from that motherfucker. Even if it's, you know, I'm telling you, you are dodging a fucking bullet. You can find somebody else. Don't do it. Please don't put yourself in that situation. This person just sounds like they're younger than you know? And it's like, you don't need somebody like that. You just said people, oh yeah. So, I don't know, I could be wrong, but Maybe he's not a narcissist. Maybe we're just, I don't want to like diagnose anybody, even though I do that all the time. But you shouldn't do that. I don't want to say, I don't know if he is or not, but it just seems like his behavior is toxic and it's just something that you don't need. Like, how stupid is that he's going to, like, get pissed off and say your reputation sucks? It's like he just wants you to feel bad about yourself. He just wants you to, like, be proving yourself to him because that means you care. If you were just like, whatever, you can think what you want, he'd be like, what the fuck? I used to go to a party at his place and now I can't go anymore. He does give me narcissistic vibes. Yeah, I mean, if he's needing that much attention, doesn't like that you won't text him back or give him that attention, it's kind of petty. It's like, you don't have time for all of that. Like, how are you even going to deal with that? And your life at the same time? Because when you're with a narcissist, it's like, it's not about you. It's about them all the time. So you're not going to have time. That's the answer, is you're not going to have time to think about yourself. You're just going to have time to think about him. So even if you guys were just friends or whatever it was, I mean, that just seems like it's exhausting. But I'm sorry, totally got off track. What was your question? So, why was PJ toxic to me? Because he's a toxic motherfucker? No, but let's see what the cards say here. That's not bipolar. They isolate you and use your insecurities and vulnerabilities to make you listen to him. Gaslight, alert. Do not ignore the red flags. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. And bipolar isn't really like that. I mean, I don't actually, bipolar is the one I know the least about. With how much I'm interested in psychology, like, I really don't understand that much about bipolar. But the thing is, are they manipulative like that? I mean, I thought it was just kind of like this up and down thing, like to where either they're manic and kind of almost losing control, kind of like how I sound sometimes when I'm talking, but or they just fucking can't even get out of bed depressed. It doesn't seem like that's what we're talking about here. Okay. So why was he toxic? Dodged a bullet there. Okay. If you can believe this, the cards seem to be encouraging you to do what you already know is right. And basically, because the High Priestess here is saying you already know what the answer is. Like, she intuitively just knows things without even being told. So it's not like he's going to go, hey, I'm a narcissist or I'm toxic for you. But you already know that, right? Like, you're telling me, like, this happened and you're like, why was he toxic to me? Like, you already know. Like, and so here's the thing. Walking away, you'll have the opportunity to take this action. He may have already walked away, or you may have already walked away, or whatever the case is. You guys might be distant now, but it's kind of encouraging you to keep doing that. Like, it's encouraging you to take this action because you already know the situation and what it is. Like, so basically it's giving you the option because you do have free will. So, I mean, if he tries to come into your life and be a friend still with these kind of behaviors, you can most definitely, you can choose to let him in. You definitely don't have to close him out, but it would just be the best thing for you if you did, because really it's very clear here. I mean, it's like, this is what you need to do. You already know that, like Sunflower said, don't ignore the red flags. You know what I mean? Like, these are red flags. They're there for a reason. The signs are cautioning you. So if you do allow it back into your life, it's like you're just setting yourself up for more of this bullshit. Should I worry about him saying that people are giving me a bad rep too? Like, was that real? I already know it wasn't. Just because, like, do you have any idea, like, what does that even make sense? I mean, and if it does, or if it doesn't, then ask yourself, does it matter what people are saying? I mean, it does. I get it. You're 23. It matters, to you. I'm 24. I'm probably in the same boat. Like, it would matter to me too if people were just saying shit about me that wasn't true. But it's easy for me to, like, since I'm not you, it's easy for me to, like, look at your life and say, like, that seems like irrelevant. Like, fuck them, who cares what they're saying anyway? But if I were you, I'd probably feel the same as you're feeling. So I feel like, I mean, you can approach them and you can just check it out yourself, because I'm betting that it's bullshit. But, so just check it out for yourself and see if, and if they don't say it to your face, then fuck them. You know what I mean? But I really don't think that anything really did happen or was said. And if it was, it probably wasn't even nearly as close to what he was saying. Like, it sounds like, especially he said that when he was mad too. It's not like he said it to you like when you guys were getting along, like, hey, I'm just concerned, like, these people are saying this, is that true? Or like, I just wanted to let you know as a friend. No, it's like he has to say it when he's pissed off. Oh yeah, and by the way, your reputation sucks. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it, you're mad, like, who cares, you know, like, grow up. So the cards are saying it's best to stay away from his toxicity. Well, yeah, I mean, basically, but basically what it's saying is, with the Ace of Wands, it's saying you'll have the opportunity to walk away from this, but at the same time, it's telling you it's up to you. Like, you are gonna have to make that decision. Nothing's gonna make it for you. Like, you can definitely allow this person back into your life, but it won't be, you know, you already, well, I'm not gonna say it won't be a good decision, but with the High Priestess there, it pretty much says you already know what it's gonna be. You already know what it is, and you already know what it's gonna be. You already know what the best thing to do is, and that's what I like about tarot. It gives you the option. Like, you don't have to do anything the cards say, but here's the best option. You know what I mean? Like, with the High Priestess, it's like, it's not even telling you what the best option is. It's saying basically you already know what it is. So it puts it in your lap and says, look, you know, you're a big girl. Like, take responsibility for this. Do it or don't, but it's going to be on you. You already know what you need to know. So if you do it, that's on you. You know what I mean? And it's even easier since this person, you weren't romantic with them. That's even easier to, like, not even, it's easier to walk away from that, I feel like, than somebody that you were in a relationship with. Even if it was a friend relationship, I mean, it's different, I feel like. But I mean, maybe it's still a big deal. Maybe they kind of influenced you in a big way, but trust me, it is way better. It's just an illusion. They don't have any power. That's why they need to take yours from you. Well, good for you. I'm glad that, you know, you got the confirmation. Yeah. That's fine. You know, that's good. As long as you know that. Just don't forget what you know, okay? Just don't forget what you know. Don't forget what you already know. Don't forget what you already know. That's the easiest way I can say it. Don't let yourself down by doing that, you know? Because you're going to hate yourself for it later. You're not going to hate him. You're going to hate yourself. And even though that's not the, you know, it's kind of like, why would you hate yourself? It's, you know, you're going to. Just trust me. So just don't be in that position, you know? Do yourself a favor now. Tell me anything you said. I'd like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, looks like you're going through something right now, or there's a stress on your mind. Maybe you can't sleep very well. It's about your happiness. You need to take a chance. You need to kind of take a risk and just take a leap on something and just do something exciting. Put yourself out there. Don't worry so much, you know. It's easier said than done, I get that. But it's basically just telling you to kind of like live a little more, you know, live life. Like, get out there and do something fun. Do something, get out of your fucking mind, you know. Communicate, collaborate with people. And Aquarius is here, but also if this is not Aquarius, literally, it's talking about there's hope in this, in the, you know, you socializing, exchanging your ideas with people, getting into a group support, maybe group support, because this is exchanging of ideas, okay? So maybe it's taking that leap into you getting like some kind of therapy or some kind of class where there's other people involved. Like, it's socializing for sure, but it's not just socializing, it's exchanging of ideas. You know, it's like communicating and working together and trying to come to a conclusion or solutions about things and like cooperating together to, you know, help, like, but it's a mind thing. Like, it's like connecting with people and exchanging ideas is the best way I can put it. So, you know, whether that's group therapy or like, you know, a project you're doing with multiple people, or just maybe a hobby, you know, whatever it is, it's just something where you're communicating with others. And this is where your happiness lies. You know, you're stressed out that life is not satisfying right now. And I just think you need to take a leap and do something, you know, with other people instead of isolating or, you know, doing what you've always done. Do something different and fun. You never know where it can go, you know, and this seems like that would be the best option for you. There's a lot of hope in that path. of going and, interacting with a bunch of different people instead of like what you've always known or the people you've been around lately, do something different and new and fun. Get out there and do something different, do something exciting, and communicate with people, collaborate. Let me know how that works for you. I'd definitely like to hear how it works. So promise me you'll come back and tell me in a few weeks if you did that and if it worked. Cool, thanks. What does G want to tell me? Yeah, Avantika, I will do you right after this one, okay? And I actually have a dream dictionary that I'll look at for you. And we can do some tarot too. What does G want to tell you, okay? Walking away and going his own way, basically. Or he either wants you to go your own way, like basically G. It could be a girl, I guess, but G, he or she. G wants you to, either wants to say basically that they're going to be going their own way now, or they're encouraging you to do so. So they could maybe not be saying that. They could just be doing that. That's what they would say if they had the balls to say it, I guess. But it seems like they're kind of fearful of or anxiety. Maybe they just don't know how to say it. Like they don't want to hurt you or something, or they don't want to be hurt, or maybe they don't want to lose you all the way. So they're kind of not saying that they're going to be going their own way, and so maybe they're going to be kind of in and out. But it seems like they're kind of worried about like putting a complete end to it. You see this here? It seems like they're kind of like, they feel like that's a bad idea to kind of like completely close it out and end it for sure. But they are going their own way here. So, I mean, they're just not saying that probably because they're probably fearful of losing you completely. But that's not really fair, is it? Okay. Just saying that they're going to want... Okay, so I do feel like this is going to turn around kind of, it seems like they're going to want to communicate soon. They'll have the opportunity to do so, definitely. So, it's up to them if they do or not, but it looks like they will want some kind of a new beginning here because the Empress is here. Or it's talking about pregnancy. I mean, with the Sun card, it's saying basically something comes to light, something that you basically didn't know before is now brought to... there's a big light shining on it and it's like you can't deny it anymore. So it's kind of like something that you are made aware of that you weren't aware of before. Now it's known, and it could be that you're pregnant. So be careful, but it could also just mean that, they want a new beginning with you. They realize, maybe that's the Sun, is they have a realization that they want to like have, something going again with you. They want to offer you some kind of stability or something, some kind of like security. It seems like they're going more in that direction here. Watch for pregnancy, though. And then with the Ace of Swords, they'll have the opportunity to communicate with you. But, of course, we have free will, so it's going to be up to them whether or not they decide to do that. But it seems like it's definitely going to be a possibility here. That's going to be something that, can happen. But if they choose to do that or not is up to them. Okay? The person is kind of lost. Like, I feel like this is something that, with the Tower... This is something that you're kind of in a position that's tricky because they're in a situation in their life right now where they're just kind of lost. And they're kind of trying to find their way, what means something to them, what's purposeful to them, like what their purpose is, basically. And, people go through that all kinds of different times in life, and it just seems like one of those times for them. They're trying to find themselves, so it makes sense that they're kind of going back and forth and in and out with you, because for some reason you have some level of security to them is with you, so they feel comfortable, and they don't really want to lose that all the way, that connection. So then it's like they're not going to try to end it for sure, but they're also not there for sure, because they also want to make it out on their own and go do something, on their own without this attachment. But the world card, it kind of seems to me like this is going to be something that kind of it's a cycle. It kind of continues on and doesn't really change. So then of course we have the tower here, so it's kind of saying like, yeah, they're going to have something happen, or not necessarily one thing, but it's kind of like they're not making certain changes they need to make. Like they want to find themselves basically and find their purpose and their meaning and what their values are. Basically they want to go out and figure that out, but they're kind of like not doing it right, like in what's the right way. I mean, I don't know. It's just with the tower here, it's basically saying there's changes that they need to be making that they're not making. So by the time that the tower comes out, it's going to be like they don't have a choice anymore. They'll have to make a lot of changes, because the tower is there to say, okay, you're veering off from your path now, and we're going to put you back on that path. So I'm going to make you lose everything, or things won't work out for you in the way that you had expected in many different areas of your life, so that you'll kind of have to like restart. You'll have to like kind of build back up from the bottom and realize who you are then, because this whole trying to realize who you are this way is kind of leading you down the wrong road. So, you're not making the appropriate changes that I was trying to give you the freedom to make. Now I'm going to have to do it for you, so it kind of just is like a bomb that drops on your life. But really the tower, all it means is change, and people are very uncomfortable with change a lot of times. So it seems like it's this scary thing, and for some people change is really scary. So that's, it just depends how he takes it, but something is going to give, and it's all going to fall apart soon, because he can't, maybe he will make the changes, but it seems from this reading, it seems like that's the tower's going to have to do it for him. So I would say be careful with the connection, just because it seems like he's not really sure like what he is doing right now. So it's like he doesn't know what he really wants, and he's just trying to feel like comfortable and find himself too. So it's like he's kind of thinking of himself, which I guess we've all kind of been through that. We all do that from time to time, but like it's just like in regards to like what you should be doing about it, like I feel like that's kind of not really fair to you. And like, so just don't depend on it too much, because he's kind of on his own journey right now. So if you could just let him do that, that might be a little bit easier and faster, that he would find himself, instead of dealing with this bullshit and having to get hurt along the way. Awesome. Cool. Okay, Avantika. Let me go get that dictionary, okay? It's right here, in this room right here. It's not going to take long. Okay. So this is the book. You said, okay, let me see first. Hey, hope you're having a great day. Thank you. I hope you are as well. Thanks for saying that. You said, I had this terrible dream where I was diagnosed with some disease and I was dying. Woke up with tears. Could you please do a reading on that? Okay, so here's the book. Just let you know what we're getting this information from, and we'll do some tarot as well. So, disease. I'm sure there's dying as well, so let's see. Let's see disease first, though, because that seems like the reason you're dying, right? Okay, disease isn't here. That's Felix, by the way. So let's look for like sick. Sick. Ooh. Wow. There's every sign of the zodiac. If you have a sign, if you dream about them, there's each sign that says a different thing. That's crazy. Okay, I don't see anything for sick either. It's weird. What would that be? Here, I'll look at the index. Let's see. Oh, letters. Wow, that's true. I haven't seen this before. Wow, this is so cool. I'm all reading it to myself. I'm looking number 13, 10, 12, 9. Okay. Colors. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Do you like the way we're going with this? Like, can I use this journal, or are you kind of like, okay, no. Or not this journal, but this book. There has to be sick in here somewhere. What disease was it? Maybe we can find that in here. Sigmund Freud as well. Harm, maybe? I mean, Obstacle. It is cool. I'm really into it. Crossroads. Dwelling. Wow, I don't see anything about like sickness. Maybe health or something. It's okay. Blood disease felt like cancer. Okay, that should help. I'm gonna look at like blood or something first, and then cancer. Body. Okay, body says seeing your own body is a good sign. You are in good shape and can be satisfied with your life. If you appear too fat or ill, you're dealing with either physical health issues or emotional burdens. Get rid of them. If you're looking at a growing body for a man, improvement in his social position, for a young girl, a secret love, for a young woman, pregnancy, for an older woman, receiving something of substance, taking off your clothes, certain actions are making you feel ashamed. See nakedness. Okay, that's not you, but seeing someone else naked, da 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 da. Okay. Seeing an injured body you will have to do with less or have to forego something. The body always represents sexual needs or the desire for an erotic relationship. So, maybe your sex life sucks right now? No, I'm kidding. Damn. So there's obviously something in your life right now that you're kind of feeling stressed out about or like worried about that you're going to be able to not get through is what you're thinking. Is that kind of make sense that you have some emotional um, burdens that you need to get rid of maybe? Because I mean with dreams it's usually yourself, like it just seems like you're going through something probably that you feel like is impossible or you feel like it's just kind of like never ending where it's like almost just like the end of the world kind of thing, never gonna get better or something. Burden. Carrying a great burden, you're going through a difficult time. But you are strong and up to the challenge. Throwing a burden off your back, you have enough strength to find a solution to an old problem. Watching others carry a burden, you're managing a difficult job at the moment. A burden is the symbol of a responsibility that has become burdensome. Can you free yourself from it? Yeah, Cancer's not in here either. Let's see if health is. Was there anything else in the dream that was like identifying? Like any numbers, any letters, any like any kind of symbol, like a hat, head cold, purse, heart. So were you in the doctor's office when it happened? The wait feels like never ending. I know good things are coming, so being patient. You said I looked different, not the same face or body, but you knew it was you, right? And was closing doors, locking doors after doors. So you just kept closing and locking the door, closing and locking the door. You were in your home. Okay, that's important. So home. Yeah, that's exactly what we needed. Okay. Because home means something. Okay, home, apartment, or dwelling. As was already mentioned earlier, dreams about a home where the doors are open always symbolize, in men's dreams, their relationship to women. If the home is primarily furnished with wooden objects, the man is looking for a more motherly type. Living in a beautiful home, your future looks exceptionally good. So we're going to look at house. Because house, yeah, it's okay. So house, like a town or temple, a house stands for the center of the world and a reflection of your universe. The condition of the house represents your present situation. The roof of the house refers to the state of your health, the exterior to your external appearance. The upper floor stands for your forehead and brain, the middle floor, the area of the chest, the first floor, the intestines, and the ground floor and basement are the legs and the feet. If you dream of old houses frequently, you are afraid of old age. Building a house together with other people, you have good friends at your side. Looking at an empty house, you have missed a few opportunities. Tearing down a house, you are strong enough to deal with the obstacles that come your way. Living in a run-down house, pay more attention to your health. Watching a house collapse, you won't reach your goals. Be prepared for losses. In a man's dream, the house, it does not matter if it's a luxurious villa or a farmhouse, represents ambitions, professional advancement, security, and safety. In a woman's dreams, the balcony is the chest. The house in a dream is the symbol for the body and what happens with the body. A house in ill repair, destroyed, or even on fire points to your poor health and should be taken seriously. The foundation is a symbol for the mental, intellectual foundation on which you have built your life. The basement is the symbol of the unconscious, where repressed urges and cravings hide. The kitchen is the place where life is lived every day and where diversion can be found. The bedroom represents attitudes towards sex and emotional connections to other people. The living room stands for recreation, rest, and relaxation. The bathroom is the place for moral cleansing and the washing away of disappointments. The toilet stands for letting go of emotional ballast, tensions, and the past. The roof and attic stands for your mental, spiritual part and symbolizes protection from the outside world. See door, furniture, stairs, window. Okay, let's look at door since you said door. You're closing doors. Okay, door. Oh, locked. Door locked is one of them. Okay, so door says a door, a portal, or a gate. All three are always a symbol of transformation, a threshold between two places. Stepping through a door, a matter is resolving itself without the interference of others. Standing in front of a closed door, you still have not made contact with your neighbors. If a man dreams about opening a door by force, he either wants to possess a woman completely or he is harboring violent tendencies. A man slipping through a door is a sure sign of wanting to have an affair. Wow. So, door locked. We read door. Now we're going to read door locked. Okay. Seeing a locked door, poor conduct needs to be replaced with positive actions. It is the only way to avoid standing in front of a locked door in the future. Unlocking the door, the future will be pleasant. A locked door is often a sign of sexual needs. It also could mean that if handled responsibly or reasonably, difficulties are manageable. Okay? It was a big house, a villa kind. Beautiful home, less furniture, wooden doors, and furniture. Just knew it was me and my family, but everyone looked different. That's crazy. So that kind of resonates then, huh? But the work thing, maybe it is because it says, that a locked door could mean if handled reasonably, difficulties are manageable. Okay. Very interesting. Oh, found dying. Dreaming that you are dying. Why couldn't I find that before? Dreaming that you are dying. I knew it had to be in here. Dreaming that you are dying. You are going through a spiritual renewal that will manifest in real life. Ancient dream books consider a dream about dying to mean a long life. I think there's also like news or something. You said, okay, new house building. Seeing or walking into a new house, be more respectful and attentive to other people in the world around you. Okay. Newspaper. No. Nurse? Was a nurse there? Cool. Well, yeah, it seems like it goes. Yeah, it kind of sounds like you need to transform in some way. That's cool though. I mean, everything that you're saying is pretty much like what it said. Like that's what you're like, yeah, I'm totally going through that in my life. That's cool. So it's real then, huh? It's real. No, but that's really cool how like you're actually seeing that happen. Okay. That seems really cool. I like that it worked for you. Okay. Okay, Gina. Nice. I'm glad. Cool. Thanks. Thanks for your question. I enjoyed doing it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That is scary. You're like, oh, shit, wait. I don't want that to happen. But hey, I mean, since there's so much about health, maybe you should look into your health. I mean, you said the house was like luxurious and everything, so that's kind of, that said that your health should be good then. But the closing doors thing, maybe it can be resolved, you know? Is Gina here? That makes sense, though. You're like, since my dreams were becoming real, I was scared. Yeah, that makes sense. That is scary. That is scary. Is is Gina here still? Okay, Gina, go ahead and post your question, please. What did all the guys think of me last night, and what made not want to talk to me? Why is because I was more quiet and closed off. What were they thinking of her last night? What was their vibe, and what were their thoughts about her last night? What about Gina? The people there. Oh, that's funny you said closed off. Because look, Four of Cups. That is exactly what that means. Closed off, not giving or taking any offers, just kind of being stubbornly to yourself. And that might be the case. I mean, maybe it is because you were closed off. This definitely is what that means, is closed off for sure. And not taking or giving any offers. So in your situation, it could have been just not budging, just not giving them what they want, the attention they wanted, and not taking any compliments either, like not accepting their attention and not giving them attention back, or like, just being very closed off into yourself. So I mean, you might be onto something there. Let's see what else. So that's what they're thinking of you, is you were kind of like to yourself, closed off. That's exactly what that means. It's funny. They didn't try to talk to me, you said. Okay, so they probably saw you as unapproachable then. They saw you as like, she doesn't want to talk, Because this kind of energy here is like a person who's like, sometimes people just won't even approach you because they don't think that you want to be approached, So you could have been giving off that vibe. Yeah, and the vibe that you were perfectly fine. The vibe they thought like you were in a good place in your life. You just didn't want to be bothered, basically. See, it looks like, right here, it's all good cards. I mean, 10 of Cups means complete happiness all the way around. Like, to me, it looks like in their view, your life was good. Like, you were all happy. Like, you just didn't want to be approached, basically. You didn't want to be bothered by them. So they thought that they were a bother to you, or they thought that basically you just were good, how you were, like everything was all good. you were in a happy place and you did not want to be, but you were not open to talking. You were not open to being bothered, basically. Peace, harmony, balance, happiness, fulfillment. I mean, it seems like they thought you were good, like you were happy. You just didn't want to, you were closed, like you didn't want them to bother you, basically. So that's interesting. Yeah, it seems like they kind of thought, it's funny because you're kind of thinking like they thought that you were different, but they thought you looked like you were really happy and good. Like everything was all good for you, but you just didn't want to fucking, you didn't want them to like talk to you, I guess. You didn't want to be bothered. I don't give energy if they don't give it to me first. Yeah, so that actually kind of didn't work for you then because, but I mean, it is what it is. It didn't work for you because they didn't feel like you wanted it given. They didn't feel like you really wanted them to approach you. So in this case, if you wanted them to, maybe you should have initiated, So do you have any other questions about that, or did that answer that for you? Yeah, true, but I feel like guys should approach girls first, not to be lame. Yeah, some guys aren't like that, and some girls are like that. And, I think every situation is different. Like, every interaction is going to be different. Like, sometimes it's just best for the girl to go up to, I mean, it's just really whatever people want to do. I've approached men most of the time. Like, when I ask somebody out, it's usually I'm asking them out, My boyfriend right now, that's kind of how it happened, too. I, like, reached out to him and said, hey, are you in town? And he was like, no. Like, for, like, a couple months straight, it was, like, the first, like, I called him once. And then the next month I called him again, and he still wasn't in town. So I was like, damn. And then one day I just saw him in town. We drove past each other, and we just, like, waved. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking turn around, and I'm just going to see what's up. And we just started hanging out. And, that's kind of how it happened. But, yeah. So I approached him. So yeah, it can happen, and it's okay if it happens. There's nothing wrong with women approaching men. Nothing wrong with that at all. Sometimes you just, you know what you want, and you're just like, I don't want to wait for them to, notice or try to, see if they want it. I'll just go and ask. I'll just go and see. Like, well, see, that pride's gonna get in the way. Maybe that's why this is happening. And well, maybe one of the reasons. Because sometimes when we have certain traits about us that aren't really helping us in this world, like, that aren't really good to like have, basically, that aren't helpful to us, sometimes we get those behaviors reflected back to us, in abundance, like over and over, because it's, you got to realize like you really shouldn't be that way. And you said before something about how like the men were too prideful, or the men, their pride was in the way or something. You had said that just now, like not too long ago, you said something about their pride. And it's funny how you say you're too prideful. So think about that. You're kind of being a hypocrite a little bit. You're kind of like, they're too prideful. I don't like that. But then you're kind of going, yeah, I'm too prideful, and that's just me, and it's like, you don't see the correlation with that, Okay, well, you can do that. You definitely can do that, but I feel like that's kind of a thing you're supposed to learn, especially just because I noticed how you said that earlier, and now you're saying this now, like it's okay to do it if like it's okay when you do it, but not when they do it, right? Well, that's not too bad. I mean, that's how it should be. But if you want something, I mean, sometimes it's okay to just go and get it yourself, you know, instead of waiting for it, because you might not ever get it if you wait for it to approach you. That could be why you're disappointed too, because they're not approaching you. And one of the reasons is because you seem like you're not really wanting to be approached. So, okay. Yeah, you definitely don't have to. But you could be missing out on some things. Maybe they sense that. They're like, she doesn't want me to talk to her. You know, I'm not gonna. Hey, being in your feminine is being, you know, sure of yourself too, right? Like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? If you see somebody you like and you're like, why haven't they approached me? I mean, why don't you just do it? And then that's even more, like, in a way, it's kind of like you're living in your own. Yeah, well, if you're not easily accessible, that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons that they didn't hit you up, probably, because they're like, she doesn't want me to even hit. Like, you kind of give off that vibe of, like, I don't really want to talk to you, you know? And so how are they going to show the investment if they feel like they shouldn't bother you? You know what I mean? Try to smile more or be a bit more open or just be a bit more, like, you know, inviting. There you go. Okay. Well, at least you know that. That's, you know, that's your thing, you know? So you're going to have some very confident man who is very, like, secure in himself to be able to approach you, because I feel like a lot of men would be like, oh shit, like she doesn't even, like, they're kind of intimidated a bit probably by that, you know? But hey, you're going to weed off the ones who won't put in the effort anyway by doing that. So that could be a good thing, you know? Anyone who you get with is going to have to really show that they want you, you know? Because it's not just going to be easy, which is kind of a good thing, you know? Actually. Well, that's important. If you feel comfortable, that's good. Yeah, you need to feel comfortable for sure. It's good to have your know your boundaries like that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Thanks for your question, Kajal. Like your name. Let's see. Their ex, they want to know if there's any kind of chance for them to get back together. Any kind of chance for her to get back together with her ex. Well, if you guys are not in communication right now, then there's a chance for communication to happen soon. It looks like somebody, whether or not there's a fire sign involved in the situation, I do have King of Fire here, so this could be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But if that's not true, if there's no fire sign in your gut, like between you, if one of you guys isn't fire, then this is just talking about the determination of this person to speak with you, or your determination to speak with them. But I feel like, you know, the aces are opportunities, so they'll have an opportunity, or you guys will have an opportunity to communicate. So let's see where this is going to go if it does. You said he's a Sag. So there it goes. He'll have the opportunity to communicate with you. What is he going to do with it? Arguing about petty bullshit, by the way. Nothing really important and nothing worthy of fighting over. It's kind of just dumb shit that you guys really are just don't need to be fighting over. Like little just disagreements, I mean, that are kind of pointless. And then the devil. So it could be, you know, bad habits, like maybe, you know, bad, like quick temper is a bad habit. Another bad habit is an addiction or some kind of, you know, behavior that is unhealthy. Codependency, I mean, it's, you know, addictions. It's just any toxicity You know, also that's Capricorn. The devil is the Capricorn card, but if there's no Capricorn involved, then it's here talking about the toxicity. So basically, one of your guys' toxic things is your communication. You guys clash. When you communicate, you argue a lot, or you just don't understand what the other person is saying, like you take each other wrong. So that's why there's these little bicker arguments that are unneeded, unnecessary, you know? So let's see what else we have here. And for Sag, I feel like, well, for anybody, you know, that's not going to work very long. I mean, some people can stay in a situation like that for a long time, but I feel like, you know, it seems to me like Sages are more going to get over that really quick, you know, like just not wanting to be in that negative energy. Okay, closed off. The person is not, yeah. So they're kind of moving on from this, and it looks like they're closed off, not communicating right now. Like very closed off, like not taking or giving any kind of anything. And so maybe you guys talk and then you fight again, or maybe this is just talking about how you guys have fought a lot about dumb shit, and now they're closed off. And with the Knight of Wands, it shows that they're kind of moving on to the next thing. They're kind of like on their way to something else. Even if they're not dating anybody right now, it's just they're moving forward. You know, they're looking for another adventure, basically, and that's what the Knight of Wands is. Not really a person who's committed anyway, so it's kind of like probably from the gate they just weren't really committed from the start, you know? And even if they thought they were at one point, it's like they just never really were that type in the past anyway, so it's not really surprising that this would come up, you know? Yeah, it seems like they're kind of moving forward from this just because it's a negative to them. You guys just clash and you don't communicate very well, so they're kind of over it. They're kind of trying to get over it. It's funny because, you know, even if they're not, like, even if they have some not so positive traits themselves, they're always looking for something that's just going to bring positivity to their life. So if you're not that, even if they bring negativity to your life, like, they don't bring positivity to your life, they're the ones who are engaging in behaving in these negative ways. It's like, that doesn't matter. But what you can provide, if it's not positive, that matters, you know? So it's like, doesn't really, you know, it's not that they're always the most positive thing for you, but that's what they're looking for, basically. So if you can't be that, or if it's just not working out between you like that, then good luck keeping them around, because it's kind of like toxic positivity in a way, because they're willing to like not look at their own negative traits and how they can improve. Not all of them always are like that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I've noticed it's kind of a lack of, you know, taking responsibility for your own actions and looking at other people. So I mean, really, it's, are they going to be positive for themselves, or are they just looking for other people to be positive and deal with their bullshit? You know, it's kind of stupid, but like, if you can't be just a really positive thing no matter what the fuck they're doing, then that's just not gonna work. They're gonna think you're the negative one, even if it's them. And, you know, eventually it's gonna be both, because that just seems like a negative situation in general. Okay, so let's see. What changes are coming in my life in 2 months? By the way, you guys, this is the Ethereal Visions Tarot. I don't have it linked below in this video, but I have it in my other videos. If you guys are interested in looking at these decks and checking them out, I have the links in one of my other videos. Any of the other ones, you can see all the links to those. They are affiliate links, but I just want to make it easier for you, because sometimes I look at tarot readings and I don't know what deck they're using, and they don't always say. So it takes me a while to like find that deck. And so I just don't want anyone to ever wonder what decks I'm using. So it's not in this video, but it's in the other description boxes of the other videos I've done. So if you're interested, go check that out. And, you know, while you guys are here, while I have you, can you go ahead and like this video, please, for me really quick? Just hit that like button really quick for me. It helps YouTube, you know, see that people are engaging with the videos and that they like them. Leave a comment, too, if you'd like. And YouTube will say, okay, I'll send this to other people to look at. Help me out a lot. Thanks so much. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and do that. I'd love to have you part of the team, part of the gang, part of the tribe. It's a very friendly community we have here. And it's all been created by you guys, not me. So thanks for that. You guys are a really positive thing in my life. Everyone's really supportive of each other, so that's awesome. Okay. So let's see, any changes coming in my life in 2 months? Thanks. Groovy. Okay. Any positive changes, or any changes in the next 2 months? We have somebody trying to get their point across or thinking people are against them, kind of having to fight back. And it could just be that you're thinking it's that way and that it's really not that people are against you, but maybe they just don't agree with you or things just aren't going the way you want exactly. So you feel like people are kind of against you, but it isn't always exactly because of that. It could just be, that they just simply don't agree. But yeah, there's a lot of stress and anxiety, something keeping you up at night or throughout the day just weighing heavily on you. And you could feel like people are really against you and not understanding you. But I don't think it's exactly that they're not trying to understand you just for the sake of not trying to agree with you. But it says you need to use your better judgment on something. That something you're doing or something you're thinking is kind of you need to use your better judgment on it. Maybe you're judging it too soon, or maybe you're not judging it enough when you can clearly see that, certain situations or certain people maybe are not good for you or whatever the case may be. It's, saying basically you're going to need to use your better judgment on this one. And that, you would know what I'm talking about right now. With the High Priestess, it's something intuitively without being told. And maybe you're denying it to yourself right now. But whatever that is, you don't have to tell me what it is, but do you know what I'm talking about? Is there something like that for you? Because that's what the High Priestess is. It's talking about you know something without being told. It's just something that you understand. So there's something that you need to kind of use your better judgment on that's stressing you out. And it could even be about judging these people and thinking that they're against you. Maybe they're really not against you and you need to just kind of ease up. And also it's hard to do that when you're fearful, you're hyper vigilant, and you're kind of thinking something bad is going to happen. You just think that things are, something bad will happen. You don't think if, you're thinking when, because you already know. You're getting ready to have to protect yourself, which is a very stressful state to be in all the time. But that is the case for you right now. And it could just be because the health of your mother, like you said, you're kind of, preparing yourself for maybe some, something bad to go wrong with that. And it's not saying something will, okay? I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying this is your energy that you're feeling like something is going to happen. And it may not, but it makes sense. You've been hurt in the past. You see the bandage on his head right there? So he's not paranoid. He has a reason to kind of be worried, but it doesn't mean anything's going to happen. It just means he's been through a lot. And now he's at a state of mind that he just feels like something bad's going to happen, and he's just always alert. So, Ace of Swords. Okay, so it seems like you're going to have some kind of communication, maybe a realization, or maybe some kind of a, some kind of a chance to take the sword in your life and take action in some way that should lead you toward you working really hard towards something. Maybe something you have been putting off to the side for a while, or maybe something that you never did that you've always wanted to do. And but it's definitely you moving forward in a certain direction, you taking action. And, after maybe a long period, maybe a short period, it doesn't really matter how much time, but there's been a period of time that you were not taking action and you were more thinking about how to take action. And now you're able to take that action. And you're very focused on whatever it is you're doing. So there's going to be more ambition. There's going to be more ability to kind of to realize your ambitions and goals and to, kind of give them a more realistic way of making them happen. give yourself more energy and more ability to actually make life happen instead of waiting for it to happen. So that's good. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely some change there. You know, I feel like you haven't really been feeling as ambitious the last few months, and now, or maybe even the last year, and now it's going to be happening. You're going to be feeling some kind of determination here because you're going to have this opportunity. You don't have to take it. You can, but you don't have to. The aces are opportunities. So you can miss opportunities completely, for sure, definitely. But you also can take advantage of opportunities. So hopefully you'll be able to do that. In some way, you're going to be able to redirect your life and kind of take action in a way that you've probably been only thinking about doing for a long time. And now you're going to be able to actually make that happen if you want. You don't have to, but it's up to you to make it happen. It's not going to happen for you, okay? Even though it looks like there's, a hand offering you a sword, it's still, you don't have to, it's not just going to fall in your lap. You do have to take it and see it and take advantage of it. Okay. Okay. I want to use the Romance Angels Oracle because that's the deck I use when I'm trying to figure out like what is left between two people, in a relationship. Like what is left between you, if anything? What kind of energies are there? What do we see happening between these two? What is left in this connection? Is there anything left in this connection? If so, what is it? Retreat. It is time to disconnect from the world. Okay. So I know it shows two people going off together, but it kind of seems like just you retreating from dating in general. But let's see what else comes out. I'm going to pick two more. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Okay, so there could be another person. Let's see. Let's get one more. So maybe this is going off together. But I don't feel like it's the same person we're talking about here since you're asking like... Well, you said you blocked him. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay, so this could be talking about this person. If you give them another chance, maybe you guys need to just kind of get away from everyone right now. With COVID happening and everything, that shouldn't be too difficult to like make sense of why you need to just get away and be on your own without any interaction with others. It's important to have like your own friends and stuff in a relationship, but if you feel like they're talking to other people, maybe you can like, I don't know. I mean, if they're doing that, it's kind of like you can tell them like for you guys to get away and maybe that will work temporarily, but you really don't want to be with the person who's doing that anyway. So, I mean, but to me, it's showing like if you retreat from the world, maybe with this person, like it's showing in the card, then you can enjoy the alone time together and you guys will get closer and, the commitment will get stronger, a higher level of commitment, right? So this could also be talking about somebody else, maybe you stop dating and then you, on holiday, enjoy the bliss of holiday time. Maybe on holiday you meet a person and then you guys, grow even stronger, but it's really whatever, you choose to do. You could try this retreating thing with the person you're talking about now, and maybe that will help you guys get closer. And also religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So it's likely the person has the same spiritual values as you or religious values. And you're realizing that as you guys get closer. And maybe that's something that helps you get closer too. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So let me ask you this. The person that we're talking about, this Virgo person, are they your type? Like, is this person, it's someone that you usually would date someone like that, You've dated people like this in the past? Or is this person, like, completely not even close to what you usually date? Like, you're like, I don't even know how we got together. I mean, I don't really date people like this ever. If you don't trust him, then I think you have your answer there. Just saying. Hi, Alyssa. Or Eliza, or Lisa. So, is this person, this Virgo, are they like the people you usually date, or is this person totally different from people you usually date? Do what you feel is best for yourself. If you want to wait around, I mean, it says keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So that could be saying that, like, okay, that's why I'm asking you if this person is like your usual type and expectations in partners. Because if they are, then it's probably talking about a different person. And you got to keep an open mind, because if you don't, you won't be able to even see that they're there, and you won't give them a chance. But if this isn't, if this is a person that's different than everyone else you've ever dated, like in the way that they are, like your usual type and expectations, you know, then it could be them. So that's kind of how I would, you know, gauge that. Okay, so let's see. Can I get a general yes? General reading for Lindita. General reading for Lindita, please. This is the Celestial Tarot. Can you guys go ahead and like this video, please, while I have you here? If you get a chance, please just go ahead and like that video down there. Just hit that like button for me. Really appreciate that. Okay, I really appreciate everyone being here tonight and participating. Couldn't do this without you guys. I would be talking to myself if it weren't for you. So, Lindita, general reading for you. Okay. Queen of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. It looks like you're going to be focused more on your stability. You'll have opportunities to advance your career or get more money or something that, you know, make whatever stability means for you. Like if you feel like having more money means stability, or having like a house means stability, or having a car or having a job, whatever, you know, means stability for you, the Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity for you to make that happen. And you'll make that happen by, you know, doing it yourself, basically, and doing it your own way. Because the Queen of Wands is, you know, she does things her own way, and she doesn't ask permission to do things. She knows what she's doing and where she's going, exactly what she wants, and she gets it. You know what I mean? Or she knows how to get it. She goes about getting it her own way. She doesn't depend on other people or try to ask people for help or shortcuts or, you know, a handout. She is determined to get what she wants, and she doesn't really need your opinion or approval to get it. You know, she's not held back by those things. So it's kind of like, you know, you going your own way right now in a situation and just doing what you need to do for yourself, like what you know you need to do, what you want to do, will bring you more stability, okay? And security, believe it or not. Even if you're afraid of going on your own, it's better for you to do that right now. Maybe you've been wondering if you should or not, and you're kind of worried about it, and this is just a confirmation that yes, you should go on your own. Not necessarily in a relationship or anything specific like that. I mean, it could be whatever this, you know, however it's resonating, however it applies. It just seems like there's something that maybe you've been contemplating on doing, like going your own way about, or being, you know, doing it with somebody. And I think it's best for you to go your own way and do it, do it the way that you have been wanting to do it. And strength and the Leo card. So this is Leo, but if there's no Leo in your life, then this is just basically talking about the strength and the stamina. This is, the courage you're going to have to do this. And so I feel that for sure, that you could have been like wanting this for a long time, but you're not exactly sure if it's the right thing, but it is. That's what's going to lead you toward this opportunity and this ability to, add more success and security to your own life by doing it yourself. 8 of Wands. Okay. So you're definitely headed in a certain direction. You got to this is up to you to take action on this, and you don't have to. But I mean, it's kind of a confirmation to me that you should. I feel like you've kind of been wondering if you should do something on your own or if you should stick with whatever you've been doing. But I think this is a really big confirmation to just go your own way about it. You don't need to wait for anybody. You don't need permission. You kind of just, what you need and what you want. So just go and, you can get it, but you can't do it with other people. You got to do this on your own kind of thing is what I'm feeling with the Queen of Wands. And it's going to take courage and bravery and strength, but you can do that. I think this is just, basically saying do it already. The way you want things to be, maybe other people disagree with that. So you just kind of have to do it yourself. You can't wait for other people to get on board with it, You kind of just have to make it happen. So that's cool. Okay, Farah. I do see you. Thank you. Can you post your question, please, Farah? Thank you for your donation, by the way. I do see that. Hi, Moon Lover. I love your name. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Right now, I'm doing a donation reading, and after this reading, I will answer your question if you have one. Just waiting on Farah to post your question, okay? What is going to happen between me and Ferris? We don't talk. Will he make genuine effort? Okay. You are... sorry if I'm saying his name wrong, and yours. What do we see happening between these two as we move towards the end of the year here? What's the energy between them? What's the energy between them? Okay. So there could be a Sagittarius involved. If not, then here we're talking about peace and harmony. You guys should kind of be peaceful, like, you know, you should be civil, I guess you could say. Like, things should be balanced, at least. There won't be any, you know, too much hate, I don't see. You know, this is definitely not a card of hate. It's definitely a card of, you know, harmony and peace and balance and just, you know, just harmony. So let's see where this is going between them. Judgment. Taking action. Okay, so it's like you guys had a realization, or maybe one of you did, or both of you. And it's kind of just like you use your better judgment on a situation. You're like, what's going to bring me more harmony and peace? Is it going to be to hate this person or to be negative? Or is it going to be to like just kind of forgive and be like, you know, like, you know, just let it be. And you're taking action in that way in order to make that happen. This is 2 major arcana and an ace. So it's very, very strong energy here of, you know, the ability to take action here, first of all, but also use your better judgment on a situation. And, you know, just try to keep peace and harmony at all costs. Like, just try to, you like not create a negative situation. Like, don't create any drama that doesn't need to be there. I mean, it never needs to be there, right? But it's like, this is you kind of just trying really hard to keep peace. So I feel like that's coming both ways for you. So why is there this closed off energy here? Somebody's like kind of not giving or taking any offers. Maybe it will be difficult to come to this. What's between them as we close out the year? Give me the energy between them as we close out the year. Okay, so it might be somewhat of an obstacle to get to this point. And I also see Taurus here. Taurus, the Taurus energy. If not, it's just talking about somebody you kind of look up to, maybe a therapist, or maybe it is this person, or maybe they're looking up to you. It's somebody that you respect their advice. Like if they gave you advice, you'd respect it. Or this could be talking about, you know, kind of what's expected of you in society, like what people would expect you to do. And so what is obviously, you know, you could, like, it would be accepted, like you wouldn't be judged for it. So that's probably why this is coming out, because, you know, using your better judgment here, you're trying to take action in a way that makes you look better, like in a way that makes you look like you're not like this drama-filled person, like a respectful person who's trying to just, you know, make the peace and keep the peace. And, but, you know, there is somebody here that I feel like is kind of closed off and just trying to get what they want, which isn't always bad. I mean, in this situation, it's not really seeming like that's what you have to do to keep your own peace, is to just make peace with this and kind of like do your own thing. So that's not really bad. I mean, it seems like whoever, like, it's funny because someone keeps, like, you're keeping the peace, you know, here you're keeping the peace, but you're also closing yourself off. So it's like, that's the energy here. You may come to a decision of like, you just have to do what you have to do for yourself and close yourself off from this. But before you do that, you want to make sure, or maybe this is their energy, but either way, the energy between you is, by the end of this year, is that you guys are kind of, you know, wanting to close it off in a peaceful way, but then probably closing it off either way, you know, closing yourself off at least for now. So nothing re-sparking this year. Right now, you guys kind of just feel like you have to do what you have to do for yourself, and maybe that's just, you know, making peace with it and just letting go of it for now. Because maybe that's what's expected of you from other people. So you may feel like that's the best thing right now. You said it's correct. Okay. Or, you know, by the end of this year, you may feel like that's just the best thing because that's what people are kind of expecting you to do, and you know that. Okay. Kind of feels better when other people are kind of like happy with what you're doing and not like just against everything you're doing. It's hard to be a rebel out there. You know, it's hard to go against the status quo because you don't really have much support. Nowadays, it's a bit different. I mean, I wasn't born before until now, you know, these days, but you know, it seems like it's loosening up a bit. Like people can kind of do their own thing and they don't really have to do what's always expected. And no, like it's not always hated on completely now. I mean, people still talk and judge, and sometimes people make things really hard for you when you don't do what they want, but it seems like it's loosening up a bit nowadays. Hi, Gaurav, or Gaurav, I don't know, but hi. Thanks for subscribing. So, Moon Lover, what's your question? Go ahead and post. Please. Hi, Lyra. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I am so glad you asked that. Yes. Yeah, that seems like the best thing for you now. Fuck Farah. So it's kind of like you're doing what you're supposed to, you know, you're doing what you feel is right. So obviously that's the right thing. That's what you're supposed to do. But I mean, it seems like that's kind of a confirmation, right? Like you're on the right track. Okay, so I'm glad you asked that because cool. So for Moon Lover, I want to show you that this is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. And I use it when, you know, for questions like this, like what's my life purpose, or like what do I need to know? Basically, it covers a lot of different areas. So it's just, I really love these cards because they're very inspiring. I like the messages that they have, and it covers like a lot of different things. And it just has a really positive, well, not always positive, but insightful message, usually positive, you know, at the end of it. So I really think that this is appropriate for this question. Moon Lover wants to know their life purpose. What do they need to know? What can we tell them basically about that, about their life purpose? What do they need to know right now to best center with themselves and be able to answer this question on their own? Because, you know, I feel like you should be able to answer that on your own eventually. Like, I don't want to tell you what your life purpose is as if, you know, I would know and you don't, you know, and obviously you're asking like the cards and not me, but like, I'm just saying, I think it's important that, that people know that they have a choice in everything that they do, you know? So it's like important to feel empowered to make that decision yourself and to feel good about that, you know? So let's just see what you need to kind of know, or, you know, what you need to remind yourself about, or just something that's, you know, some advice for you right now about this kind of situation for you. Perfection. Red chakra, root chakra, first chakra. This is where it all starts. Perfection, okay? Just check that out for a second. Okay, now we're gonna read about it. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So the overall impression is grounding. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The red chakra. Let your intuition be your guide, okay? Now the overall impression is grounding, Keywords are vital, sexual, passionate, energized, and forceful. The manifesting intention. The first chakra relates to the source of your energy and to how you are building your foundation. Think of the root chakra as a platform. The red cards represent the support you have created or are creating for your future. The root chakra cards show us a new way to bring our dreams to fruition. They denote beginnings and reveal how to create a solid foundation in tangible form. Keep this in mind. If you are not yet creating what you say you desire, you may need to grow your energetic root deeper and wider into the earth plane. Center yourself again. Get connected with yourself again. Like listen to what your senses are telling you instead of like being all caught up in your head and doubting yourself and being anxiety ridden and confused. Kind of connect with yourself again, right? An abundance of red cards in a reading is a strong indication of how you are building your foundation and will offer energetic ideas about what is necessary for you to manifest. These cards represent the beginning of an undertaking and may guide you away from the old ideas that no longer work in your life. Red cards ask, how does this card represent the place from which I can create something extraordinary? Okay. So, perfection is righteous raspberry, is the character of the story. This card indicates protection and an inner conflict between wanting to look good and having compassion for others. Remain kind and unattached to an outcome. Being right and letting others know that you are right may not support the understanding you desire. Okay, let's look further. Perfection. It says, I have the same high standards for myself as I have for others. The legend. Raspberry needs no makeup to accentuate her exquisite features, but she wears it anyway. She is a perfectionist. She speaks the truth at all times, believing that she is helping others by sharing her truth. While statements such as, your child is overweight, are honest, they make others avoid her. Lonely, she seeks the advice of her favorite, Elderberry, who teaches her that honesty without kindness is cruelty. Her new vulnerability allows her to see the beauty in others as well as in herself. So the inspiration. Are you being too hard on yourself and consequently on others? Begin to look for what's right and good in your world, and you will see it. The personal inquiry. So this is for you to ask yourself, where am I presently focusing? Knowing what's right and telling others about it might not be the best way of being. The key ideas here are alienating others, feeling alienated, seeking perfection, deeply desiring love, transformation ahead. Okay? And the keywords are uniqueness, friendship, and acceptance. So at the bottom here, there's a little meditation for you to do. So I'll just read it to you, and if you want, you can rewind and kind of go back if you want to hear it again later. Think about the people in your life. Find something good about every person who comes into your mind, no matter who they are, and no matter who. I'll restart that because if you do this later, I don't want you to be like getting tripped up for me fucking it up. So think about the people in your life. Find something good about every person who comes into your mind, no matter who they are or how you feel about them, before you release them. You will know this meditation has concluded when no more people come forward. Very simple, very straightforward, to the point. That's perfection. Can you see that? I don't know if it's very clear. Did it make sense? Did that kind of... Right on. Cool. Okay, you guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day on this. But promise me this. Promise me that you will come back tomorrow. And if I didn't answer your question tonight, you will come and you will ask again so that I can answer it for you. Because I don't want to miss you guys. So come back again and get your question answered, okay? Don't forget, make sure you subscribe and you hit the notification bell next to subscribe. When you do that, you'll see all personalized or, off. And if you hit all, then it will let you know every time that I go live. It'll give you a little notification on YouTube. It'll tell you, hey, this person's live, so you can go ahead and ask your question. Don't miss it, okay? So just make sure you do that. Hit that notification bell, okay? If you don't want to miss the next one, okay? I cannot wait to see you guys. I can't wait to answer your questions for you, okay? So be here or be square. Just kidding. All right, good night, you guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys. Have a good night.